Welcome everyone to the Pogoraids Invitational. This is the premier overused meta. I have Speedius and Tho with me. How are you two?
Yo, what's up, King? Doing good, thank you.
How's it
Uh,
going, King?
All right, perfect. So really quickly, because I know the battlers are eager to battle. This is basically in the Master League Classic, so no XL candy, unfortunately. No legendaries, no mega evolves, and as well as a series of other bands such as Avalog, Dragonite, Excadrill, Garchomp, Gardevoir, Gudra, Gyarados, Haxorus, Metagross, Snorlax, Sylveon, and Tokius. So basically, all the OP Charmers are banned from this. What do you two think of the meta?
Yeah, I think it looks really fun. I have a personal huge dislike for Charmers, so I'm very happy to see them banned. But for obvious balancing reasons, you need to get rid of some dragons too. And this really opens the door for especially fighters. I think we're gonna see a lot of Machamp, some Conkeldurr, some Heracross, and to counter those, since the Charmers are gone, we're gonna have to see some ghosts. I think some Gengar, some Chandelure, some Trevenant, even maybe even some Gligar could be interesting, or Gliscor. I mean, to counter those fighters. So yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting meta for sure.
Absolutely, Expedius.
Yeah, we see this Steel, Charmer, Dragon kind of triad in most Master League Classic matches and even Master League Premier Classic, as well as Excadrill being a big force. And because you're banning the Charmers, you're banning some of those Dragons. Like Tho said, it really opens the door for a lot of fighters, a lot of kind of unconventional answers that you might see in Master League Premier Classic and GBL, for example.
All right, perfect. This is a double elimination tournament, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the team preview for the first battle, and want you to break down these two teams.
What do you think, though? What do we got here?
Man, two really interesting squads. We got the Machamp, Gengar, Swampert, Milotic, Electivire, and Salamence on Dr. Dave's side versus Blazingly Blazes, Hydreigon, Gengar, Milotic, Mamoswine, Heracross, and Magnezone.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm looking at two key mons here, and they're both on Blazing Blave's team. That Hydreigon, I mean, that is super cool, but I don't know how much play it's gonna have. It looks like there are a lot of answers for it on the other side. And then you've got the Mamoswine, I think also looks actually pretty strong for Blazing Blaze here.
Yeah, I think the Heracross also stands out a lot from Blazingly Blaze's side to me. If it's running Rock Blast, it still has a lot of flavors. That Salamence, and really only has to watch out for that Gengar from Dr. Dave.
Perfect. Any moveset considerations? I know they have to lock in their moves, but any interesting moves that you think? You think there'll be Rock Blast on the Heracross? Do you think it'll be Dragon Tail or Waterfall on the Melodic? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, if you look at Dr. Dave's team, he does have the Machamp and the Swampert, so I'm really keying in on a Dragon Tail Milotic there. Just like Lugia in Master League Classic, if you have a non-dragon that has Dragon Tail, you can dominate some of those dragon matchups. As far as the other Pokemon there, the Heracross, I think it's either going to be a Quake or a Close Combat for the anti-steals there.
All right, perfect. All right, let's take a look at the bracket just so we can see all the great battlers that we have today. So in the first bracket, we're going to be showing off Blazingly Blaze versus Dr. Dave. Then we'll have Shadow Brady versus Darker Catherine, Crispy Chris versus Oscar, and Olaf versus Stefan. So I'm really these are basically the first round brackets, and then the winners will continue through the winners bracket, and the losers of these rounds won't be eliminated quite yet, but they'll give in one more shot down in the losers bracket. We're gonna hope to share all the battles today, but we'll have to keep track of time and see how we do there. All right, we're gonna be doing the battles in just a moment, but lead predictions on both sides.
Oh man, that's a rough one. I'm expecting maybe the Heracross from Blazingly Blaze.
Yeah, I think the Heracross is definitely a great pick for the lead here. In terms of hard counters, I think that I would say Swampert seems relatively safe for Dr. Dave in most cases, if you count out the Hydreigon. I mean, I've never played with Hydreigon in Master League Classic, so it's hard for me to say. But King, I think some of these battlers also have had a role in Pogoraids draft format and the other Master League competitions.
Yeah,
Are you familiar with Hydreigon and any other Pogoraids?
Yeah, certainly it's quite a strong Pokemon, but extremely glassy. It could have a. I doubt we'll see a flash cannon on it, but it does have at least an interesting coverage move. Given all the fairies are gone, I don't expect us to see it. All right, let's go to the battles, and I'll let you two showcast away.
Do it.
All right. Here we are.
All right, we see a best buddy Gengar coming in from. Oh, we don't see anything. No. Oh, hiding the screens, of course. We don't want to show them looking in their teams. Want to make sure. Well, everyone in here is a very respectable battler, of course. But we want to make sure we get no snipers. But yeah, so we're just gonna have to guess what they look in here.
I guess that having the best buddy Gengar is going to be pretty important, especially in the mirror match, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it might come in huge later in the game. But we haven't seen. I haven't seen what basically Blaze has on this Gengar actually. If that's also a best buddy Gengar, of course they will even out. But have to wait and see for that.
Let me ask you this though: if you're running a Gengar in this meta and there's no Sylveon, there's no Togekiss, are you going to run Focus Blast or Shadow Ball on your Gengar?
Oh man, just looking at basically Blaze's team, or both of these teams actually, Shadow Ball just hits everything so hard. I feel like it is the way to go.
All right, let's take a look here. Magnezone lead here though into the Swampert.
Oh
the Swampert
man,
lead.
Great call by you, Speedy, but not that great of a call from Blazingly Blaze. Unfortunately, has to switch in the Gengar into the Swampert here, and in comes a Salamence.
My goodness, this Dragon Tail's really chipping, but we know the Salamence takes a long time to get to those charge moves. Here comes a bait from the Gengar.
Oh man, are we gonna see a shield from Dr. Dave here at this point? We are. Oh man, wait, bait?
Oh, bait!
Oh, wow.
My goodness. Oh, but he gets KO'd by the fast moves, though.
Yeah. This Salamence didn't even have to fire a single charge move, but does have one loaded now. If the Magnezone decides to come back in, it's really gonna have to watch out for the Fire Blast here.
Oh, reaching right for it. I think AWAC Fire Blast is something you're very familiar with, though. This is going to be more than enough to KO in this Master League match.
Oh, man, but he does decide to shield up. That is unfortunate. I would have loved to see that. Do you see that moveset on that Magnezone, by the way?
It's electric, though. We don't have Mirror Shot or Flash Cannon. We have got Zap Cannon on that Magnezone, it looks like. Here comes the Wild Charge.
Yeah, this will for sure KO the Salamence. And at this point, we're gonna see the Swampert come back in. In comes the Heracross. Heracross actually a really good core breaker for both of the mons in the back of Dr. Dave's squad.
Yeah, the Heracross resisting the fighting type moves. Doesn't take too much from a Hydro Cannon, but it can't withstand another one. This is going to be quick, though, because we need to get to our Rock Blast here. Going for a combat. If he knows shields, this could be devastating, though.
Oh, he does decide to shield it up, though. Yeah, it's pretty huge.
Here comes a
Dr. Dave actually has another Magnezone answer in the back here, so this is looking quite tough. But maybe if that zone can still get to a Wild Charge, Blazing Blaze still has a shot there.
I think the key there was getting that last shield. If he can outpace... Oh, here comes another Hydro. I don't think Heracross can survive this. Oh, he actually gets the combat. My mistake.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I thought a Hydro came, but here comes combat.
Did we see some lag there, maybe?
Yeah, I could have sworn, but in comes the Machamp. Gonna try to punch down this Heracross.
Oh, he does farm down, though. He does farm down. And he gets to the cross shop. Oh, wait!
Not Whoa!
A Wild Charge
Hold on!
Through,
yeah, I think the videos are desynced here, but that's okay.
Oh! What
no way!
He survives and gets to the cross shop. Barely able to win this game with a Machamp. Damn. Wow.
After the debuff, Magnezone is just going to fold up like a napkin under that. Close combat Machamp, I believe?
Wow. Yeah, I was not expecting a close combat there. But it was a close combat, and that definitely took out probably like 3 Magnezones.
My goodness. Yeah, I think the phone on the right might be just a tick ahead of the phone on the left, so I will be watching that one from now on. But that was really interesting, though. I really thought that the Hydro was going to outpace the Heracross there, but it ended up working out.
Yeah. But man, really well played by Blazingly Blazer, actually. I mean, he didn't end up winning the game, but he got really, really close, considering the horrible lead he had at the start of that match.
Yeah, if you look at that team, you've got the Machamp, you've got the Gengar, Swampert, Milotic, Electivire, and Salamence. You're like, man, just don't lead the Swampert. Just please don't lead the Swampert. And what does he get in the lead but the Swampert? It's tough.
Exactly. How do you think Blazingly Blaze will adapt this next round?
I think you have to play a little bit safer. I think you recognize as well that this was a Swampert and Machamp team. So maybe you to kind of double down on your answers to it. Maybe Gengar, Heracross as a combination.
Ooh, there's some Milotic maybe. I
Some
like it.
Milotic.
We're gonna see the moveset right now as always. Water. Oh, actually, we aren't. We're gonna have to wait a little longer for that moveset. Here comes the Heracross, answered by Salamence, and he hasn't seen the Rock Blast quite yet, but he's really gonna have to worry about it.
I think this is a story of pacing these Rock Blasters so much faster than anything Salamence can dish out. And as you can tell as well, Heracross taking these Dragon Tails like a champ. It's got to land one more Rock Blast, though, to KO. I don't know if it gets there, though. We'll see.
Yeah, we are gonna see one come through right now, get shielded up by the Heracross. That first one actually hit way less than I was expecting it to, by the way. Salamon's actually proving to be quite bulky in this Master League meta and farms down the Heracross here.
Salamence going to try to get a shield back here because we did lose a shield on the right side, but that Milotic is not a Dragon type. Here comes an Outrage.
Oh, man. Oh, gonna let it go. Milotic is very, very tanky, but this will hurt. Oh, man. That's a lot of damage.
That's
hoping for the Gengar sweep at this point, I think. And here comes Milotic into the Gengar. I think Blazingly Blaze was expecting the Machamp to come in, which is why he switched the Gengar in. Seeing the Milotic here might be a bit unfortunate for him, but should not be too bad.
Look at that huge buildup of energy. Going to go ahead and throw a move here at the Milotic. Do we get the shield? And we do.
Oh,
the pressure is just... It's too much. The pressure is huge. Oh, it goes right back for it. Wow. I love this play, though.
I think Milotic might be able to survive this, though. Just barely, maybe?
It does. It does. It hangs on, and he gets the surf here.
Yeah, this Gengar will need to shield up if it wants to survive this move. I think this Milotic might just barely get to another surf, though. If it does, that will be huge. Ooh, it doesn't.
So close. Finishing that Dragon Tail right as it was getting loaded up. Here comes another Shadow Ball, though. Gengar's resist of those counters really kicking in, allowing it to get to this big charge move.
And it knocks out the Machamp, and it makes this series a 1-1.
No 1 HP survival that time, though.
No. Gengar with the sweep. Really seeing it putting a lot of work this game. You'll have to see it.
So, though, how do you feel about this Salamence safe swap? It's just been so good at taking down that switched in Pokemon and also getting a shield back in most cases, right?
Man, yeah. Since Blazingly Blaze doesn't really bring the Memo Swine, Salamence just seems really, really safe. Having played against basically everything. I mean, probably struggles with the Milotic and the Magnezone a bit as well, but those Dragon Tails add up against both of them still. All right, enough talking. Let's just head into this next battle. Heracross into the Gengar.
All right, solid lead for the Gengar here. Let's see how these trainers decide. Oh, and a quick swap into Milotic. He's gonna try to swap his own Dragon Tail user, and he stays for a moment, getting off the Shadow Ball here, though.
Man, this is a huge shield call by Blazingly Blaze. Does shield it up correctly. That's a Shadow Ball. Oh man, actually does switch in his Salamence right here. Quite interesting, but it makes sense. Even though the Dragon Tails are doing a lot of damage, the Surfs won't be doing that much.
And we have a big bait call here. And he calls the Surf bait. This is huge, though. He had the Blizzard energy.
Yeah, that is big. Salamence actually will be able to survive another one of these. And might even get to the Outrage at this point.
Yeah, I think if you can key in the Outrage here, you can draw a shield from the Milotic. And he does get there, though. This is incredible.
Yeah, you either get your shield here or switch advantage. Or, I mean, you lose a switch then, but you either get your shield down or you get a switch advantage here. That's really huge. At this point, Blazing Blaze has two options. The Heracross or the Gengar.
I think you come in
the Gengar.
I love this play, though, to load up the Gengar early. We know it's even better with energy advantage against counters like Swampert, as we see the Swampert lurking in the back on the right side. And here it comes right away.
Yeah, it really is. Because of the energy lead, it's going to be able to get to the Shadow Ball before the Hydro does not decide to throw it, though. Instead, she's going to shield up this move and load up even more with this Gengar.
Yeah, we see the Gengar shielding up there. It's a bait game. Gonna throw a bait here. This is kind of risky, but you know Swampert's your best answer to Gengar, so we will see the shield from the shiny Swampert.
That's a huge bait because this Gengar will now be able to outpace to another Shadow Ball, but instead gonna try to catch. Unfortunately, does not go through, but the Swampert does throw anyway after loading up some more. This Hydro, as we've seen before, will do quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, Blazing Blade kept the receipts there. Maybe got a bit of a refund. I think I saw that charge move button pulse, but here comes a move from the Heracross. Rock Blast getting shielded. I like this. Now you can overfarm a bit more, KO the Heracross, and try to close out with energy advantage. But it's going to be close here, though. Shields are down.
Throws a Shadow Punch immediately. Man, if Blazing Blaze manages his Gengar's energy really well here and comes out with a Shadow Ball to fire at the Swampert, he might be in a decent spot. Instead, throws Shadow Punch immediately onto this Gengar. Probably gonna take it out.
Yeah, I gotta say, if you can claw... No, he does take it out. Oh, he's got to get up to the move, but Swampert beats him there.
Yeah, this Hydro Cannon will finish the deal here. Really well played by Dr. Dave this match, but very close one.
I think Dr. Dave really need to consider over farming, like you're mentioning, though. You know that Gengar is empty. Maybe you undercharge, maybe get a couple of Shadow Claws. You win the CMP tie, you could win the match. But that was very close. That's really splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
That was a tremendous match. This very precise and some really interesting movesets as we do expect in this round. But congrats to Dr. Dave for moving on.
Triple electric Magnezone is not something I was expecting. That is for sure.
Yeah. How much do you think a Zap Cannon would do to a Swampert? Probably quite a bit.
Probably 50?
Yeah, 55.
Yeah, probably around 50%.
And the buff, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see Dr. Dave moving on in the winners bracket. Blazing Blaze will certainly see more of him later on in the losers bracket. But the next match we're going to have up is going to be Shadow Brady versus Darker Catherine. If we get a chance to take a look at the team preview here, any thoughts on these teams?
So look at that elephant just kind of floating there for Shadow Brady. That's going to be a really cool one to see in the Master League Classic.
I love it. Man, I've seen that thing do work in both Great League and Ultra League, but I've never seen it do anything in Master League. So this is gonna be quite fun. Also, again, 2 Salamence. We saw do a lot of work for Dr. Dave last round. So let's see if we can see some more Salamence action this round. And then also the tree.
The tree is here as well.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the combination of Trevenant and the utility of Gallade look very, very good for Shadow Brady here. A name I do recognize, actually, from previous Pogoraids tournaments. My goodness, if you look at the Gallade, you've got Confusion for the Gengar, you've got Leaf Blade for the Swampert, Confusion for the Machamp, Leaf Blade for the Milotic, and then you've got that Tangrowth and Salamence to deal with. So I think there's some play, but again, the Salamence on both teams though. Do you think we see a safe swap Salamence again?
I think for both players, the Salamence could work really, really well as a pivot. Honestly, it really only has to watch out for the Milotic, but as we saw in this last set, Milotic versus Salamence, even though those Dragon Tails from Milotic are doing super effective damage, it's really not that bad for Salamence.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think the levitate ability on Donphan will come in handy in this? Well, I guess not too many ground moves, right? So
immune to Swampert's Earthquake. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
All right.
Who knows?
All right. Let's get to the battle screen here. I'm sure these two are very eager to get started with the battles.
What if that's a Charm Gallade, by the way?
Or a Charm Donphan.
Or Charm Donphan. Yeah, I've been assuming that it's counter, but honestly, maybe Charm is the way to go here for the Dragons and the fighters.
Yeah, you've already got your Conkeldor. You already have your close combat on Gallade. I mean, even the Trevenant can really hit some of the steals with Shadow Ball. So I think that's potential.
Yeah, no, for sure. Also, the Conkeldor is looking pretty solid on Shadow Brady's side. Really only has to worry about the Gengar. can still hit the Salamence for like a Stone Edge, which will probably knock out. So I think it's a really good choice as well.
Yeah, Conkeldurr is one of those Pokemon I'm still hunting for the hundo of. I've hatched lots of them, and I have the candies. I'm just waiting to build it. Shadow Brady's on our left. Dark Catherine is on the right. So it looks like we're going to lead Salamence this time, not swapping it into Milotic.
Oh man, this is a positive matchup for Milotic when shields are up, so Brady does head out here into his own Milotic. In comes the Tangrowth, not what you want to see. We see a little different moveset on Milotic as well, with the Hyper Beam.
Whoa, Hyper Beam Milotic, talk about spicy. Here comes the Dragon Tail sneak in, and then we get a move from the Tangrowth. This is going to deal quite a bit of damage here, though.
Milotic is very tanky, is barely able to survive that move, and gets to the Hyper Beam. Are we gonna see no
shield?
Is this gonna kill?
Full strength Hyper Beam coming through here. Tangrowth hangs on.
That's a huge tank by the Tangrowth right there. But this Gallade will be able to farm up, but not before Tangrowth gets to the Power Whip here.
You really want to take a resisted Rock Slide, but the Power Whip is going to come off here. Gallade loses over half of its health. That's really tough to start.
They did more than a Hyper Beam for Milotic, actually.
Throwing the Leaf Blade here, recognizing you need to pile on some shield pressure, but Gengar is a poison type and it wouldn't take too much, but we're going to shield to be safe and maintain our health. We see the swap back to Salamence here.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to shield up here. Wants to keep all the health he can so he can survive more Dragon Tails from that Milotic, which we see come in here. Yeah, these Dragon Tails are really starting to chunk on this Salamence.
We see the Outrage getting pulled here just before the Blizzard was queued up. We're going to see the shield as well. Milotic trying to protect itself from this stab Outrage.
Man, is this Milotic going to farm this Salamence all the way down? That would be really bad for the Gallade in the back. Oh, yeah. At this point, we're going to see 2 serfs come out and this game is basically over.
Yeah, the farm down was really, really huge. I think recognizing that Salamence's energy schedule being so slow allows you to be confident with the farm down. Here comes the second serve. Just like you mentioned, though, and Gallade is going to get washed away in this game.
Exactly. Very well played by Darker Catherine here.
Yeah, the Salamence lead really surprised me because it doesn't have the pacing to take shield advantage from a lot of Pokemon. So you kind of put in a position where you either need to swap it out and try to, realign later, or maybe just stay in, sack the shield, and then try to get a shield from your opponent.
Yeah, Shadow Brady was running Milotic and Gallade in the back in this game, so I feel like that was his plan. Like, I think Salamence is normally seen as like a closer, but in this case, he actually was leading the closer with 2 very solid safe swaps in the back. So, likely, as you said, probably the plan was to switch it out anyway. But unfortunately wasn't able to put on the shield pressure with Milotic, so the shield stayed up and Salamence just couldn't put in the work.
So I have to ask you, what would you like to see in Game 2? I mean, Trevenant was on the bench for Game 1, and I feel like it had a lot of play there.
Oh, it had. It would have done really great versus that Tangrowth Milotic combo from Dark Catherine. And we see it come out here into the Milotic. Now, even though this is a grass versus a water type matchup, I imagine this is pretty even since the Dragon Tails are doing a lot of damage. We see the Milotic switch out though into the Tangrowth. I think this is pretty good for Trevenant here. The Shadow Balls will do a lot of damage.
You got to ask yourself, what is this swap trying to lure out? Comes in with the Tangrowth. Does he want the Salamence out for the Milotic to farm down again? He's not going to give it to him. Actually going to build up more energy here. And then make the switch on a Rock Slide.
Ooh, a bit of a refund. Again here, gonna have to take this Power Whip to the face, or we do see a Shielder. Actually, very good call, because as we saw in the last game, it does a lot of damage.
I love the move here to build up some energy on Gallade. Yes, you're giving up a switch here. Yes, you gave up a shield against a Power Whip, but you might be able to get one back here with a double Leaf Blade combo, or a Synchronoise, though. I just recognized the moveset.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Synchronoise either, but it makes a lot of sense in this meta with a lot of Gengar. You want something to maybe surprise hit that.
We see the shield from the Milotic. Got the shield back. I think that's progress. Oh, and he gets another Leaf Blade, though.
Another one. Yeah, no shield coming through here. I have no clue how much damage this does, so let's see right here. yeah, 40%. Pretty good. Pretty good. And here comes the Gengar to farm down this Gallade. Brings in the Salamence here. Is the Salamence going to be able to farm this thing all the way down before it can get to a move or two?
Oh, pushing up for the Shadow Ball. You want to bring that shield pressure, and he does get the shield. What a great call.
Really, really great call, because this Shadow Ball would have for sure knocked out this Salamence. At this point, it's going to farm down all the way, though. Have an Outrage stored for whatever's still in the back, which is the Milotic at this point.
We're going to see the move come here from the Salamence. Again, this is just about applying shield pressure. I don't think there are many ways that Dark Catherine can flip this matchup back. But the Milotic's going to build a lot of energy. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, at this point, it looks like the Salamence is just going to farm down the Milotic, and it's going to go down with a lot of energy. Well played by Shadow Brady here. Another 1-1.
This is awesome. You love when it goes to a decisive game 3. Shadow Brady, Dark Catherine, both of these trainers striking back at each other and showing why they deserve to be here. What do you think about a game 3? I think the Trevenant has to come again.
Man, I would love for the Trevenant to come again. Honestly, we didn't see it do that much work in this last battle. It was mainly Salamence that did all the work, actually. So that's what I'm definitely expecting. But I hope we see some more Trevenant action as well.
I think Tangrowth also needs to go kind of out of the rotation here, because Tangrowth was generally helpful against a Gallade, but it still was KO'd and only able to take one shield. Maybe something with a little more flexibility, maybe Milotic or Salamence on the other side could be useful.
Yeah, Darker Catherine really has to bring both Milotic and the Salamence for sure. I feel like at this point, however, I think the third is a very difficult decision. It could either be the Gengar, but then you're gonna struggle against that Gallade, or the Salamence, because we saw the fast move pressure for a Salamence is just huge versus the Gengar. Or you go that Tangrowth, but then you get countered by the Trevenant and Salamence again. I think Dark Catherine is just in a very rough spot as far as team comp goes.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes on paper, the team compositions can be very difficult to overcome. And when it comes to that, you just have to guess your opponent's line as best you can. Shadow Brady on the left, Dark Catherine on the right, Gengar into Gallade.
With shields up, this is definitely a good matchup for the Gallade. These confusions just chunk so much more than the Shadow Claws do. So we do see a switch out here into the Milotic. This is pretty good for Gallade as well, because it does have the super effective Leaf Blades.
We're going to see the Leaf Blade come through here. We know from the previous match, Milotic can tank this move, and it does. Going to try to build up some more energy. Actually making a switch into Milotic. How do you feel about the switch in, though?
Yeah, this is really nice with the standard Milotic moveset we see on the right, Surf, Blizzard. It is nothing it can hit this Milotic with. So at this point, the left Milotic can just no-shield everything, farm is all the way down, and have energy left over for whatever's in the back.
Resisted Surf, resisted Blizzard. We're going to go for the double Surf here. Like you said, though, that standard Milotic moveset is not that effective in the mirror, but the Hyper Beam isn't even needed right here.
No, it really isn't. This point, they have a very tough choice, but they decide to come in with a Gengar to take a lot of Surf damage here, I think, which they actually do decide to shoot up.
Gengar, not known for its stat product, is going to have to throw up that first shield. Here comes another Surf as well. I mean, though, it's so tough because your choice is either take a Surf on Gengar or take a Blizzard on Salamence, because they, well, actually, they do know about the Hyper Beam, don't they?
Yeah, they've seen the Hyper Beam already, but Salamence would take a lot of damage there still, so it was rough either way.
See the Shadow Punch gets shielded here by Gallade. Here comes the Salamence, and now it gets a bit interesting because we are switch locked in a matchup where Gallade doesn't have much play, but the Synchronoise could be a game changer, though, and he doesn't shield.
They don't expect it, and they don't shield. Goodbye, Salamence. Oh my god, they did less than I thought. Wow, wait, they tanked that. That's crazy, actually. But now still has the Milotic left. Gonna be able to farm down the Salamence. Not before it gets to the Outrage, though. But we see a shield here. We don't.
No shield. Opting to try to close this out with their own Salamence. And in it comes, fully healthy. Takes one Dragon Tail. My goodness. No energy on the Gengar. The tank is empty, though. We get Dragon Tail down.
Yeah. G's to Shadow Brady there.
That was this. I thought the Synchronoise was gonna KO. I'm not gonna lie, it was a cool move. It was still a very cool move. Did a lot of damage, but honestly, I thought it would KO. But I guess we haven't seen Salamence too much in battle outside of this tournament, so maybe we underestimated how much bulk it had.
Yeah, it's just a huge CP difference between Gallade and Salamence, I think, that allows Salamence to seem really, really tanky in a format like this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What were your thoughts on that particular round? Any standout Pokemon that did surprisingly well, or Pokemon that underperformed?
Yeah, I think that recognizing the Gallade utility was very critical there. Kind of putting the opponent in a position where even a Milotic swap in is not going to solve your problem. You push the Tangrowth onto the bench like we talked about. We kind of minimize its utility, so you can't even bring that against the Gallade, and then you just have really nice matchups when you pair it with the two Pokemon that they did.
All right, perfect. Let's go. Let's turn to the bracket and see who we're going to be featuring next. It's going to be Christy Chris versus Oscar. Two individuals that are quite familiar with each other. They value against each other in many different draft and tournament formats. If we want to go to the teams and check it out, and if you two want to provide your analysis.
Of course, Crispy Chris and Oscar. All right.
Oh man.
Oh, looks like we had some shadows.
Oh yeah, and I love the shadows, but I'm mainly looking at that flying hippo there. That is a very interesting one, and also going to be really interesting to see what movesets he runs on that thing. But yeah, these are two really, really interesting teams. What stands out for you, Speedy?
Yeah, I mean, the hippo is also the first thing that comes to my mind because you don't know about the move set. Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Bite even, right? Hippo's got a lot of different options there. I do like the hippo in GBL because it's able to counter some of the dragons. We've seen Tua Butters use it to great effect. But in this meta, with the dragons as limited as they are, you got to think this is a Salamence Hitman kind of situation where that's your bench pressure. It's going to be interesting. We see the Trevenant Gallade combination. Escavalier is actually a very cool Pokemon here, but there are lots of Swamperts in the meta too. Man, look at Oscar's team. He's got 2 counter users and a Swampert. That kind of minimizes the Escav right out of the gate, right though?
Yeah, and the Charizard to just completely eat up that Escav and Trevenant on Crispy's line here looks quite threatening for sure. And of course, we see the Salamence again on Oscar's side, and I think that's gonna do a lot of work versus Chris's team as well.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to point out is that although the Escavalier has so many counters, in terms of charm resistance, Crispy Chris has Escav, and that's it. He doesn't have a fire. He doesn't have a poison type. So the Shadow Granbull with 2 shields might be an incredible play here for Oscar as he looks to close out some matches.
Oh yeah, for sure. That thing just destroys Hydreigon and Gallade. Milotic has only resisted Dragon Tails to throw at it as fast move, so when shields are up, probably doesn't have much play. It's only really the Escav that can resist those charms, and even then it throws resisted counters back. So yeah, that Granbull is looking to be very, very strong. If it's running charm, who knows? Maybe it's Snarl. Maybe it's
5 seconds each. Lead predictions.
Oh man, I think the Granbull. Honestly, I think the Granbull.
Granbull, okay. All right. Milotic. Okay, let's go to the battles.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it. Chat, I need your help. We're going to look at these 2 shadow Pokemon. I want to know what their IVs are. So when we see that CP, if someone in chat can let us know what those IVs are. I'm always curious, though. I always ask.
Both Hundo.
Hundo Shadows? Whoa.
Yes, no. We'll see. You'll see. That'd be pretty great. You said Milotic on the lead. I'm actually expecting maybe Trevenant there. Looks like a pretty good generalist for Crispy's side.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think with my mindset, you want Trevenant in the back to stop the Granbull. So
yeah,
could be.
Yeah, I can feel that as well, just in case because Oscar can always run the Granbull as like a pivot as well. So if you want to stop that, maybe you want the Trevenant and the Escavalier in the back.
Exactly right. Yeah, I think that stopping Gallade is going to be a big key here. With the 2 fighters and the Swampert, Oscar's going to have tough sledding against Gallade, so he's going to probably bring some combination of the two flyers there, Salamence, Charizard, and Granbull would be my suspicion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And let's just see what they think. We do see the Salamence lead into the Trevenant. Honestly, we were both wrong on our initial predictions.
No.
But yeah, it's a pretty decent matchup for the Salamence. In comes Milotic, and Oscar answers with the Shadow Machamp.
All right, do you see the surf coming off here first? Milotic was able to switch in a bit earlier. Going to throw the surf and get the shield early. Interesting play there. We see the Milotic safe swap into the Salamence again. This is a recurring theme in the tournament so far.
Yeah, Milotic really proving to be very valuable on the safe swap position. And we see here why exactly, actually. Because this Machamp comes in and will likely beat this Milotic, but not without burning a shield. Or maybe even two.
Wow, gets the second shield here, though. That extra Dragon Tail is so critical for getting this final surf. Machamp forced to 2 shield, and Milotic walks out of here with both shields for his trainer.
Yeah, that is really, really big, because as we've seen earlier on in the tournament, Salamence is really, really strong where shields are up, but when shields are down, maybe it can struggle a little more with taking those charge moves.
Exactly right. Machamp throwing a move here. I mean, you have to roll the dice that it's not payback, and it doesn't look like it is. Throwing double cross chops here instead of the rock slide, which does make sense.
Oh, I'm hearing some intel from chat. Apparently, it's a 15-13-15 Machamp, so that is really, really good.
That's really impressive. I mean, we see the Salamence here, I'm sure, but look at the back, though. This is going to be really tough. The Trevenant. Oh, it comes in Heracross. My goodness.
Yeah, the Heracross has bad matchups versus both the Gallade and the Trevenant. So decides to bring it in here because it's a little less bad. And it can actually resist both charge moves.
He gets his shield, and the trainer throws a close combat here. I don't think this KOs, though.
No, it is resisted. Heracross kind of tanky here compared to Gallade. Does take it. Comes into Trevenant, and it gets answered by the Salamence.
We've seen this before when you have a flyer or any kind of neutral matchup. If you can land a big Shadow Ball on it, it does really, really solid damage. This is a nice looking Trevenant as well. Hundo Trevenant, I assume.
Oh man, it actually did not knock out. But can this Salamence do enough damage to this tree to take it out? Fortunately, it can't. Gets hit by a Seed Bomb here.
This is really tough. Seed Bomb coming through here. Resisted, but it's going to be more than enough damage, of course. Take down a Salamence that weak. In comes the Heracross, and it gets clawed down.
Man. That Heracross proved to be quite a liability in this match, unfortunately. His best matchup, probably the Milotic, but having taken that down with Machamp, it was only the Heracross, or I mean the Gallade and Trevenant left, and Heracross just had no play.
Yeah, though I have to ask you, how did you feel about that that lineup there? The Salamence, Heracross, Machamp. That's not the trio that we had handpicked out for this matchup.
Oh no, definitely not. I feel like what Oscar was trying to do here is lead the Salamence as like his Gallade counter, probably lure out the Gallade with either Heracross or Machamp, and then sweep with the other. But unfortunately, Crispy Chris ended up bringing 2 answers to the fighters, which Oscar had not anticipated. All right, we see the Hippo in this next match versus the Heracross.
And it's an Ice Fang Hippo. Look at those big ice jaws just chomping down on the bug fighter there. Going to try to get up to a move here. But this is interesting, though. I don't know if there's a decisive winner here. This feels very neutral.
Yeah, Hippo is really, really, really tanky, but does have to shoot up this close combat from Heracross because it would do a lot of damage. Does get off the Weather Ball right before the next close combat here. Will this knock out the Heracross? Because it is debuffed, but it doesn't do enough. Wow! Switches in the Trevenant to catch the next close combat.
What a play!
Yeah, wow. That is really good.
Oh, but he gets punished.
Oh no. Oh, this is just a weird attack Charizard though. So these fast moves really aren't doing that much.
We're gonna see the Shadow Ball come through here. No shield from the Charizard. Oh my goodness, Charizard takes a big hit, still survives, going to push up for a Blast Burn, I assume? No. Going for the Dragon Claw. I don't think he gets 2 moves here, though. It's going to be very close.
I think at this point, this Dragon Claw would knock out, though, so makes sense to go for it. Maybe if he goes into the Hippo and he can survive one Ice Fang, he can get to another move, but gonna be very close.
See Charizard waiting for the opponent. Comes in Milotic and gets rid of the Charizard before the Dragon Claw. We do see the Granbull in the back, though. Here comes the Granbull right away.
Oh man, Granbull with 2 shields versus a Dragon Tail user. This is looking pretty good for the Shadow Granbull.
Here comes the first Surf. I assume we get both shields out of the Granbull here. The question is, though, can this Granbull charm through before the third Surf?
I don't know. Milotic is tanking these charms quite well, actually, but it seems to be a little bit too much. Let's decide to switch into the Hippo here. This Hippo is actually gonna get to a move as well, so this is proving to be quite a close matchup still.
I think you want to apply as much shield pressure as possible. We know Milotic banked a move after this, or before the switch, excuse me. We're going to see the Weather Ball come through here, though. This strips the shield, and if you can't CMP tie the Milotic, you get hit with a Surf here.
Exactly. What does Granbull come up with a move after farming down?
Does!
It does.
You got to throw right away.
Yeah.
Oh!
Gets hit by the close combat here, and it's a game over.
Recognizing exactly what their opponent was trying to do. If you lose the CMP there, you're in a tough spot. So not throwing a charm, electing to throw the combat instead. Really impressive finish, though.
Oh, for sure. That Granbull with 2 shields really proving its worth right there. I was kind of celebrating at the start of this tournament. No Charmers, but apparently Bull is still available, and it's doing a lot of work. It's doing a lot of work.
I'd really love to hear a King pun on that if he's got anything kind of stirring around there. I know he's always thinking of funny things to say. So my question to you, though, do we see the Hippo again? Because again, the Ice Fang Hippo, it's great for the Salamence, but it just seemed to be kind of lackluster against any other matchup.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't get that Hippo aligned to the Salamence, it's kind of dead weight. I do really like the Ice Fang coverage on that thing, but its neutral matchups just aren't that strong. So,
all right, Chad, we're hearing from production. We're going to focus on the right side of the phone here, just to get through this next match here.
All right, Speedy, what are you expecting for this third game?
Yeah, I think that Charizard Granbull combination is really strong. I think you need to answer for the Milotic. And we saw the Machamp, or excuse me, the Heracross get a lot of play again. And I think the Rock Weather Ball really helps it there as well. I think you kind of go with a similar combination. You haven't seen the Escavalier. You don't expect the Escav, especially when you run a counter user and a Charizard on the last game there. So Granbull, again, looks really safe, as annoying as it is to say, right?
Yeah, no, right. I do agree. And we head right into this third game here with the Milotic versus the Salamence.
See, the Granbull come in early this time, though. This is a bit risky.
Man. It is, but we saw what Granbull with shields can do already. First shield probably getting stripped right here, though, with the Surf. Actually, never mind. Oscar decides to no-shield this.
Yeah, in comes the Trevenant, gonna look for a big Shadow Claw down. Does he get there before the crunch? And no, he doesn't. In comes the charge move from Shadow Granbull.
Man, this is gonna warn the shield from the tree. Crunch from Granbull will do a lot of damage, so this makes a lot of sense. What will Oscar answer with here? Probably only has one option here, the Salamence, and after this defense drop from the crunch, the Dragon Tails are gonna do a lot. And I mean a lot of damage.
Trevenant fighting back, gets the Shadow Ball here. No shield from Salamence. We've seen it can tank it before. The question is the Shadow Claw pressure. Oh, that does just over half. Wow, Salamence.
Yeah. Have you seen the CP of this Trevenant? Only 2600, or not even. It's 25 something. It is so low CP, but still putting in a ton of work with its just like a really good moveset.
Yeah, it trades blows with any Pokemon in this cup so far, it seems. So let's see, though. I think, well, you have the Hippo. Do you fire some Ice Fang?
Oh, instant switch from Oscar, though, into the Heracross. Really hoping to sweep with this thing at this point. But 2 really bulky Pokemon in the back for Chris, so Heracross has a lot of work to do.
This is a difficult spot to be. You switched in the Heracross. You want to land that super effective, or not super effective, excuse me, but high damage close combat. But you don't want to debuff yourself. Going up to 100 energy here, though. Finally going to throw. No
You
shield.
might have seen be tied with this weather ball though. So no shield actually. Never mind them because this hippo is gonna go down, and now it's all up to the Milotic. Oh, these Shred and Tails are really adding up.
This Heracross trying to pace up to more combats. The pressure doesn't stop here, though. Gets another one, and I think a third might be in the works here.
Yeah, this one gets shielded. We get to another one. Is this enough to take out the Milotic? It has to be, right? It has to be.
It has to be. Boom! Out goes Milotic. Wow, that Heracross put in work, though.
Yeah, wow. Oscar really recognizing that after the tree was gone, Heracross could just sweep the Pokemon in the back, and it did. It definitely just swept.
That was an absolutely phenomenal match. Austria coming in, that Ultra League Grand Ball put in work, right? It might have been in the wrong league, but it doesn't mean that it can't be incredibly useful. I'm actually really surprised it survived the Surfs, and all those Shadow Claws still made it to the crunch, which was really critical there.
Yeah, it definitely pulled its weight. Honestly, it's way better than I was expecting. And really good recognition by Oscar as well to use it in this matchup.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Our next matchup is going to be Olaf versus Stefan. Stefan, one of the organizers of this tournament, helping us a lot with the background work. We're going to see if that kind of good karma is going to help him out with this match, or whether Olaf is going to be able to pull off the win.
All right. Question is how many how many ice types Olaf has, right? Because
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Let's take a look at the teams and see any ice types. No, but Olaf is a big Venusaur fan. Commonly using Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur in GBL. So we do see Olaf actually sticking to his guns and actually bringing the Venusaur. But I'll let you two break down the teams.
Oh man, I love the Venusaur, but it is not looking very good versus Stefan's team with, the Gengar, the Salamence, and also the Heracross and the Magnezone in the back that Venusaur doesn't do too good against, but, probably pretty good against that Conkeldurr, and can probably do some work against the Memo as well. So who knows? Maybe we'll see it coming.
I have a sneaking feeling that this set is also going to revolve around that Salamence versus Milotic Dragon Tail matchup, because if you look on both sides, we're kind of lacking in terms of counters to Salamence on Olaf's team. In terms of the Milotic, you have a few more options, though. You do have the Magnezone there, which stands out the most, but we've seen the counter users actually put in a ton of work against Milotic as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think Olaf's best answer to this Salamence might be the Milotic, of course. Maybe an Ice Punch Electivire. We haven't seen any play of that this whole tournament, but you might see it come out now. Besides that, the Electivire has a lot of play versus everything else as well. A Wild Charge hits everything, but the Mamoswine really, really hard.
So I have to ask you, is there any merit to Chandelure in this matchup? I know you see it.
Oh man, I don't know. Actually, I think there is. It can probably beat Magnezone, Mamoswine, Heracross, and it's pretty good against Conkeldurr. Just as to watch out for that Gengar and Salamence.
So let's see whether or not Olaf can utilize his Pokemon effectively, or where Stefan is gonna take home the win.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to the battles.
Let's go.
Chat, if you're loving these graphics, these transitions, these live battles, we got to shout out to Nightwing. Yesterday was his birthday. Can we get some Feels birthdays in the chat? Some shout outs.
Yes, let's get some Feels birthday man in chat for Nightwing.
Feels birthday, man. Let's keep it going, chat.
Oh man.
My goodness.
All right. What are you expecting in the lead, Speedy?
Let's see. I think that the Trevenant, again, has incredible utility. Even against a Mamoswine, you're going to be taking super effective Powder Snows, but you do have the Seed Bombs. You're going to... Yeah, there's just so much utility in play across the entire board here. I think Trevenant is a very safe lead here. I'd love to see maybe Electivire Closer, depending on the moveset. Here comes Gengar. Machamp. I was wrong.
Oh, man. I would not have guessed this either. Gengar Machamp, very polarizing matchup. In comes the Venusaur. I wasn't expecting this to come in, but this is also a bad matchup for Olaf, unfortunately.
Now, Olaf trying to feel the opponent out here, maybe try to leverage shield advantage at some point or some energy advantage, because like you said, though, this is not typically a counter that you think of when you think of Gengar.
This Frenzy Plant did do a lot of damage, so the Gengar already in the red did build up a bunch of energy though, and now brings in the shiny Salamence onto the Venusaur, which throws a Sludge Bomb.
That Gengar left with 100 energy, though. It's going to be so dangerous, especially if Olaf goes down shields here.
It's gonna be so dangerous, and I was really hoping for the Sludge Bomb to do a little more actually. At this point, it wouldn't even knock out the Salamence, unfortunately, but we do see a shield actually. Yeah, I think Stefan's recognizing that no matter what Olaf has, he's still gonna be able to do a lot of work with this Salamence.
We know Salamence's energy pacing is so slow, so having that extra health is going to help it to get where it needs to go. Here comes the Outrage, and with the shield earlier, though, if we don't see a Blizzard here, we might even see a second Outrage. Depends.
Oh man, I think that's gonna be really, really tight. Dragon Tails are really chunking, and yeah, it's not gonna be able to reach that Outrage, unfortunately.
I'm trying to gas up the Salamence here because we've been calling it short, but didn't get there that time. Shadow Zone on the field.
Ooh, Shadow Zone. This Surf will do a good chunk of damage. Definitely gonna be able to tank it. This Milotic might outpace to the next Surf though, which might warrant a shield from this Magnezone, and it probably will at this point. It has to shield.
You. Though it's been about a minute, it's been about 60 seconds since we've seen the Gengar, but don't forget it's completely loaded with energy. Here comes a charge move from Magnezone.
Oh man. This is actually huge for Olaf here. Because, oh man, never mind. Oh man, gets to the cross chop. Dude, this battle just turned wild. The Gengar didn't throw any energy. It's gonna get taken out by the cross chop here.
Gengar saving the energy for game 2. Here comes the Machamp trying to counter down. Doesn't get there. Magnezone KOs, but there's still a shield in play. The Dragon Tails are resisted though, but I think we're gonna get there. Let's see.
Huge farm down. Milotic takes down the Magnezone. Oh no. The Gengar died with like 200 energy there. That is very unfortunate.
That was so tough to watch, though. We had a Shadow Ball plus in terms of energy, and Gengar did not use any of it. I think if we deploy that energy, then things turn out a lot differently.
Yeah, exactly. That was unfortunate to see. I think the combination of Gengar and Magnezone also proved to be quite squishy. Just got its shield stripped very, very early, which turned out to be quite difficult in the end game.
Absolutely, that was a very glassy team, and when you have that kind of composition, you really have to allocate your shields so carefully. Here comes Shadow Zone into the Venusaur.
Oh man,
this isn't great.
Wow. Well, this is pretty even, maybe. Both doing resisted damage, and a Mirror Shots won't be doing that much, though. A Wild Charge, even though it's resisted, will probably do a really good chunk.
We see the Frenzy come through here. Also resisted. It's going to take a serious chunk, though, because like you said, Magnezone, not the bulkiest.
Yeah, it does around 45% to this Magnezone. The next one, likely to knock out. In comes a Wild Charge. Not going to see a shield from Olaf. Trust in his Venusaur to be able to tank this hit. And it does take it pretty well.
Oh, getting to the Frenzy, locking Stefan here in a very tough position. You have to shield if you want to save the Magnezone. There are two ways you could play this, though. You could Mirror Shot early and try to debuff the Venusaur, or you could play it this way with the late Wild Charges. Let's see if it pays off.
Olaf actually very weak to Magnezone in the back as well with Milotic. But opting to let this go. Magnezone now quadruple debuffed, so can likely just farm this down with the Milotic. Or brings in the Fire. In comes the Gengar here. Because of that little bit of energy lead the Fire got, it's going to be able to outpace this Gengar, but not opting to throw the move, waiting for the Gengar to throw his energy here.
I think Olaf is very content giving up a shield here, trying to build a double Wild Charge. We know Electivire's attack stat is sky high. This is going to deal a lot of damage to the Gengar.
Yeah, Electivire with an energy advantage is really, really strong. Unfortunately, though, has to shield up another move here from the Gengar before being able to throw his Wild Charge.
Here comes the wild charge. I doubt we see a shield. We do not. Gengar gonna go ahead and let this one through. Gengar does not hang on as expected.
Ooh, we see immense in the back here. We see an Ice Punch from the Electivire. This is not super effective, of course, so we do see a shield come up.
Exactly. We know Milotic is tanky. He switches it in right away. Oh man, this is a race here, though. We got to get up to a Blizzard, I suspect. Or can you Dragon Tail Surf combo? Oh, he switches in the zone.
Oh man, and gets to the wild charge. That is big. Now it is gonna be a race, I think. Will this Electivire be able to farm this down?
Yeah. He has to throw the Ice Punch. You're gonna get hit with the Mirror Shot, though.
Yeah, but still, there's still one more chance for the Electivire here. Can it get to another Ice Punch against the Salamence?
Salamence is so healthy, and he doesn't even get the chance. Dragon Tail down.
Man, that Salamence putting in work again, just Dragon Tailing everything down.
Well, we did see Stefan bounce back after game 1, in which the Gengar perished with so much energy wasted, but Salamence was too strong for Olaf in this matchup. We talked about this in the onset, though, that Salamence Milotic matchup is so tedious. What would you like to see in game 3 from these trainers?
Man, I think this one could really go either way. I have no clue what they could change, actually. Honestly, the Venusaur from Olaf has been putting in way more work than I was expecting, even in matchups where the Frenzy Plant is resisted, like that Magnezone, like that Gengar. It still does a good chunk of damage, so, I'd like to see that again. And then, the Vire. Maybe if he threw the Wild Charge a little earlier, he would have had a better shot there. So I think he can just stick with the same strategy, but maybe play it out a little more optimally.
So I'd really love to see an Electivire lead, take the early shield advantage, let the Electivire go, come in Milotic, apply more pressure, and then close Trevenant. I'd really love to see that from Olaf. Let's see what these trainers decide to do.
Also see a very similar strat on Stefan's side, actually, with the Magnezone lead, throwing those Wild Charges early to take shields. But it might be a bit more risky for Stefan, seeing as there is a Chandelure, a Trevenant, a Machamp, and a Venusaur, which can all do fine against the zone.
Exactly, but I don't think it's made him too shy to run it. He has brought it in at least one game here, so we'll see as these trainers get queued up.
Yeah, I think we have a little bit of a matching error here. I think they're both in different invites, so maybe someone can let them know. I think one of them has to probably resend this battle.
Yeah, we do see Olaf waiting for Stefan to accept, but Stefan already accepted a separate invite, like you mentioned, though.
Exactly. Oh, now he's gonna exit the game. Man, I really do hope Trevenant closer, like you said, would be quite strong for Olaf. So I do hope we see it again. We do get a little bit of a sneak peek on Olaf's team, though, and it is the same strategy as last time. So I do quite like that.
Sometimes it's like a game of chicken, if you will, where both trainers are heading, head to head, and if you keep leading the Venusaur over and over, maybe your opponent doesn't expect it to come the third time, and you actually pick up a really solid lead. So we'll see.
All right, here we go. We finally found the proper invite. Let's get this battle started. I'm excited. It is the Heracross into the Venusaur lead. Now, this is actually probably pretty even. They're both doing resisted fast with damage, and they both have a coverage move to do neutral damage in the Rock Blast from Heracross and the Sludge Bomb from Venusaur.
Exactly. We do see the Sludge Bomb coming off right away from the Venusaur. We know Heracross can tank one. It's a very bulky bug.
That's to almost 50% though, quite a bit of damage, and I can't imagine this Rock Blast doing a lot, seeing it's a pretty weak move, not stab. I've never seen this come through, but it's probably only gonna do like 20%, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Non-stab Rock Blast. Great coverage move, but doesn't have a ton of stopping power. We see the second one come through. We know Venusaur can survive this. This is curious to me, though, because your whole team on Stefan's side has decent matchup against the Venusaur, and he switches in to catch a Sludge Bomb. Resisted.
That is a huge catch. This will do nothing versus the Gengar. it does open up the door for Olaf, though, to bring in the Milotic against this Kangar, start putting on the fast move pressure.
Lovely catch. We see Stefan deploying this Gengar energy, throwing the Shadow Punch into the Milotic. We do get the shield as well.
Huge bait there from the Gengar. In comes the Surf, though, and if he wants to deploy more of that energy, he's going to have to shoot this up.
I think that's the play here, though. You already have significant energy, and you benefited from the bait. Does he get to the Shadow Ball? And he does continue to apply pressure to Milotic.
As you've seen earlier, Milotic can tank this, but he doesn't like it. It almost kills the Milotic, but is barely able to farm down and ends up with a Surf loaded here.
All right, Milotic is going to fire Surf into whatever comes in next. Let's see what Stefan decides to do. Comes in with the zone. Get in the zone, though.
Oh, I am in the zone. This Surf will hurt a lot, though, as we've seen earlier. And now it's actually going to be... Oh, actually brings in the Venusaur, hoping to get to another move where the Heracross comes in. Oh, dies with the move. Unfortunately, this is huge. The Heracross is now loaded up with energy, and there's an Electivire in the back.
Such a critical farm down there, though. You're able to now pressure shields, and you've got so much energy. I love the overfarm as well, recognizing that Electivire needs a few turns to get up to that Ice Punch.
Oh, man, no shooting. I love it. He's calling. He's calling the Rock Blast bait, and he calls correctly at this point. If he's able to farm down and then double Wild Charge to make the zone, maybe he is in a good position.
We'll see. We'll see if he can get there. Here comes a few more counters from Heracross, but like you said, it's out of energy. Committing to the farm. You love to see the commitment here.
Is a Wild Charge enough, though? We see one come through here. No shield from the zone. Does it kill? Doesn't kill. Is he going to be able to farm down now? Actually opts to go for another charge move here. We see another shield come up from this zone. You know, the Milotic is also still alive, so if it can get over Dragon Tail here, maybe it's enough.
No!
It's not enough, but the Magnezone, only 1 HP. Still, oh my god. A little more than 1 HP apparently. Barely gets to the Mirror Shot. This should knock out the Electivire. Wow.
Tries. My god, we're going to head to the bracket here, chat, but I have to say, tried to snipe the Magnezone with the Dragon Tails, unsuccessful, ended up giving it even more energy. The Mirror Shot was all it needed.
Yeah, what a close match. That one could have really gone either way.
Okay, just so I'm sure, Stefan won that game, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to update the bracket ahead of time, and I literally changed who won the game like 3 times in the end. I was like, oh, Stefan definitely won this. No, Olaf's got this. And then I literally was saving it because I'm getting yelled in my ear to update the bracket. And that was an absolute insane closing game there to end in the first round. That was phenomenal. What are your thoughts on the match?
I got to tell you, the commitment to Venusaur was pretty insane. It put in so much more work than I thought against a team that it honestly on paper has no play against. What do you think, though?
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I think I very much underrated the Venusaur, actually. It put in so much work, even versus matchup where the Frenzy Plants are resisted. It did so much damage. In his final game, though, unfortunately, the Sludge Bomb did get caught by the Gengar, which I think ended up making the game in this final match.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a really close match. And speaking of close matches, Speedy, I know you have a special tournament that you run on a weekly basis. Do you want to just talk about it a little bit, and we'll queue up a promo?
Of course. So Pogoraids was actually generous enough to let us announce this tournament format last week on our Go Battle League Arena stream, which happens on Fridays. Elo DeColo and I gave chat a preview of this tournament, and it's been nothing but amazing. I'm not disappointed in the slightest because this has been really fun. But I guess returning the favor here, Pogoraids is kind enough to let us show our Week 1 promo highlight reel from GBLA. We are now in Season 4, and these are some Master League Classic battles from some of the best battlers in the entire world.
Put on headphones as if it's a real tournament, so or a live tournament. So it's gonna be fun when we get there. Let's go ahead and turn to Dr. Dave and Shadow Brady's teams. Go ahead, you two. Break down these teams.
Oh,
All right.
we see 12 Pokemon
Whoa!
on Shadow Brady's side here. I think.
Slight
What is that?
team
Alright.
advantage to Shadow Brady. Well,
All right, I think we are good now. And one thing that immediately stands out to me is that Gallade.
absolutely, the Gallade again looking so strong against the Machamp, Gengar, Swampert, Milotic. 4 out of the 6, and does have a lot of play against Electivire as well. I mean, it's a really powerful Pokemon. As we see there on the bottom, though, we've got Salamence and Milotic, and then on the top as well, you got both of the
Oh.
Dragon Tail users.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I see no reason for either one of these to not bring them every single game. To be honest, they have proven to be so strong, so dependable. I think we're gonna see double Dragon Tail teams all round long.
All right,
Exactly. And you look, sorry, King. I was just going to say, if you look for Dragon Resist in the form of Fairy or Steel, there's not a single one in all 12 of these Pokemon.
Ooh, we're going to see some hard-hitting, fast moves. Let's go ahead and turn it over to the battles.
All right.
So,
go ahead.
as far as matchups go, who do you think has the advantage here?
Let's see. The Gallade and Trevenant are both so good. They almost fill a similar role here, being able to beat fighters, do well against the Gengar and the Swampert. I think you kind of have your pick of which one you want to bring in that regard. I think the either Gallade or Trevenant plus the 2 Dragon Tail users for Shadow Brady looks very hard to beat.
No, I definitely agree. The Trevenant or Gallade plus 2 dragons look very, very strong. Though I feel like Dr. Dave has a pretty good core with the Gengar and the 2 dragons as well.
Absolutely. And we look at the Donphan as well. We haven't even mentioned the Donphan. We don't know what that fast move is yet. If it is Charm, it does have a couple of targets here with the Salamence and the Machamp, although it would not fare too well against Swampert or Milotic. And it would absolutely wall the it would wall the Electivire to a degree. We still have Ice Punch.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really hoping we're gonna see that Donphan come out here, but I'm afraid with the Gengar, the Swampert, and if it's counter, the Salamence of course is really hard. And either way, Milotic is very hard. I think the Donphan just has too many answers, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we won't get that spice. Let me ask you this, though. Are we going to see Conkeldurr come in here and try to brute force its way through this matchup and Stone Edge Salamence for an exciting finish? What do you think?
You know what? We might. Its toughest matchup is that Gengar. Everything else, the counters do a lot of damage. Or versus Salamence, you can honestly probably almost one-shot that with a Stone Edge. So yeah, with some solid answers for that Gengar, on the rest of the teams, I think Conkeldurr has a lot of play.
I would absolutely agree. It's going to be interesting. I think energy management is also very important here. Electivire, we've seen up energy, up shields can be very, very difficult to deal with. And if you don't bring that Donphan, I mean, it's kind of hard to find anything that doesn't take at least neutral or super effective from that Electivire.
Yeah, definitely. Wild Charge, Ice Punch is gonna hit everything for a lot of damage. Even the Donphan, even the Milotic definitely doesn't want to take a Wild Charge. Conkeldurr, even though it's a pretty bulky fighter, only takes neutral from the Wild Charge. Doesn't like to see it either. We're not gonna have to wait much longer till the battles, though. Here we go.
All right, Trevenant lead into Electivire.
Oh, there it is. This is an interesting matchup. You know, we do have the Ice Punches, which do super effective here, but unfortunately the Thunder Shocks are resisted, and the Shadow Claws are already adding up.
Absolutely. We do see the Shadow Ball getting queued up here, but Electivire going to win CMP with an Ice Punch. No shield. That was an instant no shield, though.
Yeah, Trevenant, it's kind of squishy, but it doesn't die to 1. Ice Punch, will we see a shield from the Electivire side there? We do shooting up the Shadow Ball.
This is great for the Electivire because it only takes you a few Thunder Shocks to get that first Ice Punch, but the Shadow Ball getting shielded puts this Trevenant way behind. Here comes another Ice Punch.
Ice Punch does get shielded up by the tree. It's gonna live to see another day. Will we see another Shadow Ball come through, though? We do. And man, wow, Trevenant actually does better in this matchup than I was expecting. Actually winning the ones here.
Yes, Trevenant straight Shadow Ball punishes the Electivire. Let's see, you have a farm down opportunity here. What do you choose?
Gengar!
Right.
And wow, Gengar with energy is gonna be so dangerous for Shadow Brady's back line here. The Gallade does a lot of damage with Confusion on this thing, of course, but it really doesn't want to eat a Shadow Punch. It's gonna bring it in, though. And these Confusers are really ending up gonna catch the shit. Oh, we see it. Wow. They are being really generous on the refunds today. You hate to see that because that was actually a beautiful, beautiful catch. But yeah, unfortunately, refund comes in. We have a Melodic Mirror now, and this is where Hyper Beam might come to shine.
I was just going to say, though, look at the moveset roulette we have on the bottom of the screen. That Hyper Beam is going to be a nasty surprise for the Milotic in the mirror. I have to agree on the refund. That was a gorgeous catch, and they do not get credit for it because that Shadow
we see
Ball
a
was
no-shield.
I don't think this KOs, right? Because we have such low attack stats.
Oh, but it does a lot of damage. That's definitely more than a couple serves would. So that's huge for Shadow Brady here. Gonna win out this mirror match, and now, you know, there's still a shield on the side of Dr. Dave, but I don't think he's gonna get to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Dave took a big hit with the Hyper Beam, throws a couple of Dragon Tails, only gets the first. Here comes a Surf to pressure that final shield away from the Gengar.
Yeah, so we'll get to use the shield, but I think at this point the Gallade is gonna come in and farm down this Gengar, and it is a good game.
If you couldn't Shadow Ball there, you're going to get KO'd by the Confusion damage. Really impressively done. Gallade, again, a serious problem for Dr. Dave's team here.
Yeah, Gallade really putting in the work there. Though, I think the MVP, probably Trevenant, winning out that lead matchup and putting on some pressure later on in the game as well. Put in a lot of work.
Yeah, you know, you think Electivire has a slight edge in terms of pacing, but those Shadow Claws just really add up. Thundershock not known for its damage output, so Trevenant was just so healthy, able to tank the Ice Punch comfortably and go straight Shadow Ball in the ones. We're learning a lot here, though, because these are not matchups that are very common.
Oh, definitely. I don't think I would have ever expected to see a Trevenant Ren in the Master League. But here we go. It's right here. Or just like Gallade, Donphan. Not Pokemon I was expecting, but you know, it's all happening here today.
Exactly. We see our trainers get queued up here. Salamence lead into Gallade. Finally, a good answer for the fighting psychic type.
Is it a good answer though? I don't know. I would assume. Look at these Dragon Tails. They are doing so much damage. Will Dr. Dave expect the Synchronize though? Normally Gallade. Oh wow, doesn't go for it. That is surprising to me. It's gonna shoot up this outrage here from the Salamence. Does he throw this move, or maybe actually switches out into the Milotic, hoping to get the farm down? But in comes the Fire here. Pretty good answer to this Milotic.
You're up shields. You got the Electivire. You're controlling the match. This has to feel pretty good here for Dr. Dave. Going to throw the serve. I think Fire can tank this, but the Dragon Tails are what's going to be the biggest concern.
Yeah, Fire already deep into the yellow. It is very, very squishy, but also very, very powerful. Gets to the Wild Charge here, and I would be surprised if this doesn't knock out the Milotic, to be honest.
Wow. Finally a move that one-shots Milotic here in the tournament so far.
I think that might have been the first one. Yeah, in comes Trevenant. We've already seen how much an Ice Punch does. He doesn't have to shield this, though it will do a very good chunk.
Yeah, we have to always keep in mind the Dragon Tail pressure. We do see the claws come through, taking down the Electivire, and there's double Dragon Tail users here, though.
Yeah, and even though this Trevenant has a shield, these Dragon Tails are really just gonna do too much damage. You really wish you could shield one of those at this point.
No shielding the first Seed Bomb. Great call here. It is super effective damage, but Milotic can eat it. Gonna try to build up some more Dragon Tails.
Another Seed Bomb comes through, likely gonna see a shield up here, which we do want to keep this Milotic healthy. There's still a Gallade in the back with like two Leaf Blades stored. If he can KO the Milotic here, he might be in a decent spot.
I really like this combo play, switching in that Milotic, but we're going to see another combo in return, transferring that Confusion, taking this move. This is big because it gives Milotic some breathing room in face of these charge moves.
Double resisted Leaf Blade. doesn't knock out the Salamence, unfortunately. The Gallade is gonna get farmed down. We have the Trevenant still in the back, but it's too late, and it gets Dragon-tailed down. GG.
Wow, you've got so much utility and craft when you look at the Trevenant Gallade combo, the duo that's been so good for Shadow Brady. But sometimes, though, you just have to brute force, dragon force your way through it, right?
Yeah, Dr. Dave really realized that Trevenant Gallade core is just really, really squishy. So if you bring some hard-hitting fast moves like Dragon Tail into the equation, they're just gonna fold. I think next round Shadow Brady might have to bring a little bit more tankiness into his team. Maybe bring his own Melodic and Salamence into the game.
I was thinking that, but I was also looking at that Conkeldurr that's going to apply a lot of pressure with the dynamic punches against the Electivire as well. And doesn't, I mean, I assume you need to shield at least one wild charge, but it's a very thick counter user.
Oh, definitely. It will do really great against the Milotic and the Electivire, and still has the Stone Edge for the Salamence as well. I think that'd be a really good play from Shadow Brady's side.
Let me ask you this, though. You've seen Electivire, you've seen Salamence from Dr. Dave. If it's Charm Donphan, is it that time to bring it in here?
Ooh, yeah. If it is Charm Donphan, it would be the time. That would beat 2/3 of his team. And we do see the Donphan come out. It's on the Milotic though. This is not where you want to see it, but maybe we can see the moveset now. Doesn't show it quite yet, but actually we do see the Vire in the back. So if he can get switch here with a surprise Synchronoise maybe, we might see the Donphan have some play. Synchronoise comes out. Are we gonna see a shield?
Oh,
we do
what a
see a
call.
shield. That is a really, really good call by Dr. Dave here. Very unfortunate though. Donphan not gonna get aligned to Electivire that easily.
Wow, Gallade only gets one shot and it does get blocked. Salamence comes out with a lot of energy, but very little health. Not a lot of farm here for the Donphan. And it is Charm!
It is Charm! Wow! Man, Outrage coming out though. Will we see a shield from a Donphan here? I think you almost just sacrifice it, but no. He's actually gonna shield this up, realizes that the health on this Donphan is still very, very important. Probably expecting Electivire in the deck as well, so wants to keep his ground type healthy.
This matchup feels like it's going to come down to alignment. Here comes the Milotic against the ground type Donphan. Switches in to its own Milotic, and here comes the Vire. Oh, this is tough.
Yeah, this is really, really, really rough at this point. Well, Electivire just gets to his wild charges so quickly, already at 2. He's gonna throw him back to back here.
So we do see the Milotic. No shielding, eats a huge wild charge.
Wow, that took it out. But we'll be able to farm down his Vire here now, maybe.
Let's see. You have to let him move through here, I assume. And the Ice Punch comes through. Donphan hangs on. Going to try to charm down. I don't think he gets there, though.
Gets to another Ice Punch. Yeah, has gotta shield this up. But yeah, at this point, he knows it's over. The Milotic still has energy and a lot of health. So just lets the Donphan go. And it is GG's. Dr. Dave takes the victory.
Absolutely. There's a 33% chance of a good lead there with the Salamence and the Vire on the team, but unfortunately, Donphan hit that Milotic. What'd you think, King?
That Charm Donphan, I thought I was going to put in a little bit more work. Unfortunately, was not able to get the alignment, as you said, and that huge Synchronoise shield was everything in that match. Like, it certainly would have made the matchup a lot closer if I didn't get that shield, and unfortunately not able to capitalize with the shield advantage. So we are able to turn to the bracket. We do see Dr. Dave move on. And next up we have the couch battle. Oscar versus Stefan here. Who are you favoring? Which brother are you liking?
Oh my god, Stefan is our organizer, right? So if we say Oscar, then he just kicks us out.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think we have much of a choice here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a look at their teams. If we have that up and ready.
I do remember Oscar with the Shadow Gramble, and looking at Stefan's team, this time it's gonna have a little less play because of the Magnezone and Gengar on Stefan's team. However, there's also the Heracross, the Salamence, and Conkeldurr that don't want to take charms. So maybe it's just gonna be good bench presser.
It's a good point. We did learn earlier that Charizard is also a wing attack variant, which is a little less pressure for stuff like the Magnezone and the Mamoswine, actually. Mm.
Exactly. We'll do a little better versus the Salamence, though. I could see Charizard being like a decent closer, maybe. Farm down the Heracross. If you already have a shield up, you can just blast, burn, or Dragon Claw everything down.
Yeah, I want to point out as well, we've seen some resisted catches like the Venusaur Sludge Bomb onto the Gengar, but where are you going to catch a move from Stefan's Gengar if you're Oscar? I mean, you're just going to eat whatever it is. So Gengar up energy is going to be very, very deadly.
All right, let's go to the battles.
Yeah, you're right, Speedy. That Gengar from Stefan is looking very, very tough. You really gotta get that onto the Swampert or Salamence, ideally when shields are still up.
Exactly. We do see a couple of answers for the Salamence as well. Now that we mention it, you've got the Magnezone and the Mamoswine, and then you've got the Mirror as well. If you take an early health advantage, the energy pacing is so slow that it's going to be very hard to flip that Mirror match down health.
Oh, and we head right into the battles here. Gengar into the Salamence. I think Oscar is really happy to see this on his Salamence here, because these Dragon Tails, as we've seen before, are really gonna start to add up.
Absolutely. Gengar already down into the yellow. It's taking so much damage, and here comes a move from the Gengar. Do we see an early shield? I don't know. The Couch Cup is on.
Oh, wow. Calls the bait. I mean, these are two brothers. They probably battle a lot with each other's, know each other's tendencies, so he just called the bait there.
You swap in the Mamoswine, you get hard answered by the Machamp. I think if you shield this up, though, you have a shot to farm all the way through.
Yeah, and he is gonna farm all the way down, and Machamp with energy is really, really dangerous. That Gengar is already quite low and will go down to a Rock Slide, but it gets to a Shadow Punch a bit before. Yeah, the left side is a little more ahead than the right, so let's just try to focus on that one.
Yeah,
Just throw the Rock Slide now.
We're kind of time traveling here, right? We're seeing ahead of time, but the left side there, definitely the most current footage. Rock Slide does come through, and Gengar is gone. We have two shielded Magnezone on the field.
The two shielded Magnezone is gonna get one shield down now, though, with this cross shop. What is Oscar running in the back here? Oh no! Oh no! It is the Swampert. And yeah, with even shields, this is not a matchup you like to see if you're the Magnezone.
You cross your fingers, you do your good luck dance, you do everything you can. You're like, please no Swampert, and here it is.
Yeah, we're gonna get farmed down. It's really a nice lineup call by Oscar.
Yeah, really well done. I don't know that I love the Gengar in the lead there, though. I think if you look at this team, there's so many farm down opportunities. The Granbull's got a super long energy schedule. The Salamence takes forever to get an outrage. You're resisting everything from Machamp and Heracross. You have to look for farm down opportunities, right?
Oh, I 100% agree. You want at least one shield down before you bring that Gengar on the field. Otherwise, you're just gonna get fast moved down by that Salamence, as we saw here. Now, but what do you combine it with, though? I could see Gengar in the back being quite difficult Pokemon to build around, because if you go like a Salamence lead, you're still gonna be quite weak against the opposing Salamence.
Yeah, you could go for the tried and true Wild Charger in the front. You could go with the Magnezone. You know you're going to strip a shield from most opponents. And we actually saw that Swampert in the back. And not only is it a great Gengar insurance policy, but it's a great Magnezone insurance policy. So, again, I have to echo your point, though. That lineup call by Oscar in Game 1 was absolutely tremendous.
Definitely. Now, do you think Oscar will adapt this line, or maybe just run it back?
It's hard to say. These two brothers really know how to play each other. I remember being a kid and playing Halo against my brother pretty often, and we'd sit side by side and we'd learn each other's tendencies. So let's see. Gengar is out again versus
man. This is a pretty good match, or actually a really good matchup for Gengar, of course. We're going to see an instant switch by Oscar into the Mance. In comes the Magnezone. This is not what you want to see if you're a Dragon type.
I really would have loved to see the Mamoswine switch in here, though, because you still have 4 shields on the field. You have to land a Wild Charge to KO the Salamence. You're going to take a lot of damage along the way.
Outrage gets shielded up here. Unfortunately, Magnezone was a little late throwing the Wild Charge. Has to spend a shield. Now gonna overfarm to the maximum at 100 energy. Gonna throw the Wild Charge here, which will get no shielded. And take out this Salamence.
Salamence goes down, not fighting too hard for switch, recognizing the farm opportunities. I assume we see the Swampert here in just a moment.
Yeah, Swampert with 2 shields at this point versus Kangar and Mamoswine. It's gonna be pretty good.
Absolutely, it's going to put in a ton of work. We see the no shield on the first Wild Charge here. Going to look for a mud shot down. Does he get the mirror shot? No, he's 1 spark short.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. This Swampert is loaded now. In comes the Gengar with only 1 shield, though. This isn't looking too good.
He's going to force away the first shield here, though I would not be shocked at all by a switch into that Mamoswine after this. And we don't see it.
Oh, you are right. In comes Mamoswine, and he throws this Hydro Cannon into it to soften it up. He might actually go into the Gramble now, but instead he decides to stay in, farm up to 1 before 2 moves, brings in the Gramble here, but he's gonna have to take an Avalanche to the face.
I love the awareness here. You recognize that the Gengar left with energy. You try to build some on your Swampert so you don't get outpaced.
Oh, man! This takes out the Gramble, though. Wait.
Whoa, Swampert!
Swampert is gonna have to farm down. It can't. Wow. I thought that was over. It wasn't. Wow, really well played.
I'm in confusion, though. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, there's no Gallade on the field, but confusion all around.
Absolutely. My goodness. Stefan tying things up in the Couch Cup between the 2 brothers here. Man.
Making it very exciting.
Yeah, that was really, really a fascinating game to watch. So let me ask you this, though. We saw that Gengar had a tough lead in Game 1 against the Salamence. It had a much better lead in Game 2 against the Granbull. What would you like to see in the lead from Oscar for Game 3?
Man, I think he might just have to leave that Granbull on the bench this time. Stefan obviously isn't really willing to bring the charm weak Pokemon. This game he brought Magnezone, Gengar, and Mamoswine. All 3 decent matchup versus Granbull. But never mind what I say. Oscar does it anyway, brings the Granbull in the leader against the Mamoswine.
Left screen is slightly ahead here. We see the Mamoswine building up a lot of energy. We know that Avalanche is a 1-shot move. It will absolutely erase the Granbull. Oh, switching in.
Charms are really starting to... Oh, and a big catch onto the Swampert, actually.
I have to tell you, though, look at this back line here for Oscar. He's got very minimal answers to the Granbull.
Oh, he does, with the Heracross and the Conkeldurr. He must have been really happy to see that Granbull in the lead. Unfortunately, Oscar did switch it now, though, which means one of the fighters is likely still gonna get charmed down.
We see the counters adding up here. Can Swampert paste to another cannon? And it absolutely can. Critical shield choice, deciding to protect Heracross.
Yeah, that will definitely take out the Heracross, so it's a really wise shield. Ends up with a lot of energy here, which will definitely threaten the incoming Granbull, I would guess.
I think you have to go Granbull here. You have to hope that the Mamoswine comes back out, and then you... Oh, he comes in the Salamence, though!
Wow! I guess knows that Salamence can probably take these Rock Blasts a little better. And besides that, the Mamoswine still has energy too, so I guess you just kind of want to get your Salamence in here. Maybe use it as a little sponge, and then hope your Granbull can sweep in the back.
Look at the no shield instantly, though. He's doing exactly that. 2-shield Granbull is the play. Here comes Conkeldurr, and it's going to be met by the Charmer.
Wow, dude, these counters are doing a lot of damage, though, as well as the charms. But will this Granbull be able to survive for long enough to charm everything down?
Wow, Oscar trying to cheese his way through this matchup. Gets one more charm. Conkeldurr can't hang on. can he beat what's left? I think Mamo is just too healthy.
I think he might get Powder Snow down at this point.
See, way
Does
down
bring in the
timer.
Memo here. Ooh, throws the Crunch, but we see the Powder Snow come through. That is really huge. We're gonna need to see a defense drop here in order for the Gramble to have any chance. We do see it, but it's not enough and gets farmed down.
This is tough. Oh, the Salamence just has nothing left. My goodness.
Stefan comes out on top.
Absolutely. Wow. King, I'm not sure how much you were able to watch, but that was really exciting.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fascinating match. Those counters actually did, as Stowe pointed out, way more damage to Grand Bull than I was expecting. I actually thought that the Grand Bull could easily charm down the Conkeldurr, but it put up a really big fight. We're going to take a look at the brackets to see how everything's going to play out on the winner's side. Hopefully I got that correct. We have Dr. Dave versus Stefan in the winners final, but we are going to go down to the losers bracket. And actually, one quick update I need to make here. There we go. And we're actually going to play the first rounds of the loser side, having Blazingly Blaze versus Dr. Catherine first up. Then we'll play Christy Chris versus Olaf. And then those winners will play the losers of the winners semifinals. So if we have the teams ready, let's go ahead and check them out.
Let's do this. Oh, yes, Darker Catherine with the tank growth once again. I'm really hoping we get to see some more play from that thing during this tournament. And it looks alright versus Blazingly Blaze team. Beats the Milotic, of course. It's okay versus the Memo Swine. And I guess pretty neutral versus the Magnezone. But unfortunately, the other three matchups aren't looking that great for it.
I would absolutely agree, though. And we look here at the team, and you've got lots of answers for things like the Magnezone with the Swampert, Machamp, even the Gengar, as we've seen, has tremendous play. What do you think about Mamoswine for Blazingly Blaze? Does it have potential here?
It definitely does. Besides, well, actually, you have a Swampert, you have a Machamp, you have a Milotic. Mamoswine does not like to see those. But against the other three, of course, the Salamence is going to destroy. Tangrowth it's okay, and Gengar it does fine as well. It might see some use here.
Absolutely. It's hard for me to say here. King, if you've had a moment to look, what do you think could stand out? Because this matchup actually looks like one of the more neutral ones we've seen.
Yeah, this looks pretty tough, to be honest. I'm not really too sure. My dog trying to chime in as well and provide some input, but unfortunately I can't quite understand what he's trying to say there.
He's saying run Zacian, run Zacian.
Run Zacian, yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, Zacian's banned. Can't you need to... This is no legendaries here. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. If we're ready to queue up the battle screen, let's go. Let's go for it. Predictions are up. So,
actually, I think Gengar looks really good on Blazingly Blaze's side. Of course, the fast move pressure coming in from Milotic and Salamence is really, really huge. But besides that, like Shadow Ball just hurts everything so much. And, well, of course, Darker Catherine has their own Gengar as well. But Blazing Blaze does have that Hydreigon to wall it.
Exactly. And without knowing intimately Hydreigon's matchups, chat, I know you want to see Hydreigon. I do as well. I can't tell. I can't tell how much play there is, though. I mean, does it even beat Salamence? I don't think it does.
I don't know either. I would imagine it's quite close, though. But I am sure it does beat Gengar and Tangrowth, besides also having a decent matchup versus Swampert. And probably can pull its weight versus Milotic and Salamence. So we might see some player. Honestly, I think the Hydreigon Gengar core, maybe in combination with Milotic, is really, really strong for Blazing Blaze.
I would absolutely agree. Though I just went to pvpoke.com. I don't know if you've ever heard of the website, but Hydreigon and Salamence actually tie in the 1s and 2s with a 500 battle rating.
Ooh, so that Hydreigon is actually looking pretty solid, I think, then.
Absolutely. It looks like Salamence does end the matchup with a lot of energy close to the outrage. So if it does build up an extra Dragon Tail somewhere, that could be very critical for flipping it. But it will be really exciting. And it does hard wall the Gengar, like you said.
Yeah, I think with that, if Blazing Blaze doesn't bring that Hydreigon, that Gengar could be a lot of trouble for Blazingly Blaze, actually. Of course, the Heracross loses hard. Milotic does okay there. But Gengar, if it hits a Shadow Ball, just does a lot of damage. Alright, we see the first matchup. Heracross comes out, actually, versus the Machamp.
We do see that right screen just a tiny bit ahead. We see the Milotic switch in as well. This looks very textbook based on what we've seen so far in the tournament, though.
Yeah, Milotic Safe Swap is everywhere. And actually, his Heracross gets to the Rock Blast before, but this Milotic decides to no shield, calling the bait. That is a huge call right there by Darker Catherine.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the no shield there. We're going to see the Surf come through, and Heracross is going to take a big hit. And we're going to see the switch out into the mirror match. Right.
No Hyper Beam on either Milotic here, so they're just going to have to spam Surfs at this point. Or I think Blazingly Blaze is likely just going to go for the farm down at this point.
We see the first Surf come through here. Blazingly Blaze could attempt the farm down. That means you load up a Blizzard, that heavy hitting move. Would be really nice to have here. Oh, he actually throws the Surf. All right.
Yeah, he does throw the Surf, and Darker Catherine is going to let this go. Takes out the Milotic. Blazing Blaze does have switch advantage though, but we'll have to deal with this Machamp at this point.
Machamp comes in, starts to punch as a Machamp tends to do. We see the Surf come through in the shield. This is the first shield of the match already, though, and we're about a minute in or so.
It is. I feel like there's gonna be a lot more shields being used soon, though. This Machamp has so much energy. This Milotic is already at a Surf as well, which we see no shielded by the Machamp.
Machamp looking to counter all the way through, and it barely gets there. Looking to pull that Swampert out of its hat. Let's see.
Blaze comes in with the Heracross here. Not with the Gengar, which is an interesting move because this Heracross will die to the slide, but with a shield advantage, maybe Gengar can pull this off.
I love the additional pressure here, throwing a second Rock Slide. We know it's not payback, but we get the shield regardless, and this puts Swampert in a 1v1 versus the Gengar with just 1 or 2 claws ahead.
Man, Swampert versus Gengar. This seems in Swampert's favor, but if the Gengar can get a Shadow Ball off here, this Swampert is not looking great.
I love the shield call here, though. We see that Shadow Ball animation queuing up, and the shield to protect the Swampert. I think that is the shield call that needed to be made.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge. This Gengar won't be able to get to another Shadow Ball here. It's just going to get outpaced with this Hydro Cannon, which will likely KO the Gengar at this point.
Absolutely. Hydro comes through. We know it hits hard, and Gengar unable to withstand it. Swampert's going to tank this one. Wow. Interesting win there for Dark Catherine in game 1.
Yeah, Blazingly Blaze really putting a lot of pressure on that Gengar, hoping it can sweep in the end game, which unfortunately it barely couldn't. It's just too squishy to survive any charge moves, which unfortunately came out very quickly from Dark Catherine's side.
Exactly right. That was, like we anticipated, though, a very neutral matchup. We saw a slight advantage for the Heracross in the lead. We saw the Milotic safe swap after we take that chip damage to secure a switch advantage, and then we see the Gengar versus Swampert. That third matchup being critical for the outcome of the game. What would you like to see in game 2? Do you think we see a Gengar lead?
Man, that Gengar lead... maybe from Blazingly or from Darker Catherine's side, I mean, because, well, we didn't see the Hydreigon from Blazingly Blaze this game, and seeing as Catherine brought both Milotic and Machamp, two pretty good answers to Hydreigon, they're probably not expecting the Hydreigon to come out, so Gengar lead would make sense, but we actually don't see a Gengar from either side. It's a Heracross into a Milotic. We actually do see the Hydreigon in the back, though, which is really cool.
I can't wait to see it, though, but we got to focus on our first matchup, the close combat coming through here. We know Milotic can tank it, but I don't think you can farm down with the Dragon Tails after this because Heracross is surprisingly thick. In comes the Milotic safe swap. We see it answered by Machamp.
We've seen this matchup many, many times before. Machamp generally does win this, but Milotic is so tanky and spammy, can probably burn a shield here no matter what.
Absolutely. Machamp takes that first Surf, as we know it is capable of doing, gets up to the cross chop here.
Yeah, as I said, Melodic is incredibly tanky, doesn't have to shield this at all, and could probably take another one still as well.
Milotic, oh, gets up to the surf, but the Machamp beats it by 1 turn. No shielding the cross chop, like you mentioned, though. This is going to be very critical. Can the Dragon Tails do enough? No, here comes the surf.
Oh, this will definitely do enough. We see a no shield coming out. Both trainers really don't want to use any shields this game, saving everything for the back. In comes Swampert here, hoping to go for the farm down.
Oh, comes in.
Heracross here into the Swampert. Man, we've seen these Hydro Cannons before. They do a lot of damage. But no shield coming through.
Both trainers refusing to drop the shields, recognizing the threat of Mon's up energy late game. Here comes a surf from the Milotic, just trying to get rid of the Heracross, just trying to remove it.
Oh, no shield again. Just putting all faith into this Hydreigon. I love it.
I think on the right side, we're calling Gengar in the back, though, but they're going to be sadly disappointed when that Hydreigon comes out, and there it is.
Not able to reach the surf. Gonna get Dragon Breath down. Now, maybe if this Swampert can still get to 3 moves, it might be possible, but this is looking quite good for Hydreigon at this point.
No shielding. We're going to see exactly how much this one does, though.
Wow, absolutely nothing, actually. That is very disappointing damage. Yeah, this point, this Hydreigon is just gonna Dragon Breath this down. Not before this Swampert throws another Hydro Cannon here, though. Likely gonna get shielded up, though. If this would hit, though, this would definitely almost... Oh, this would not even knock it out. It's kind of crazy. This thing is way more tanky than I was expecting.
As King would say, who was worried? Nobody was worried, right? Here comes the Hydro Cannon shield.
And gets farmed down. Wow.
Wow.
Hydreigon putting in a lot of work. You know, Hydreigon is a Pokemon I've been trying to make work in Master Classic for a very long time, but it never has. So you know what? Maybe I should try out this format for myself, and so I can finally do some work with it.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Yeah, we did see the. Go ahead, though.
We are currently 1-1 in this set, so we got one more battle to go. What are you expecting this round, Speedy?
You know, Darker Catherine trying to call the Gengar in the back 2 games in a row, unable to get that call in game 2. Blazingly Blaze, showing that the Hydreigon is not just bench pressure. It's not just something to look cool on your team. It's actually very, very powerful as well. So hopefully those extra 2 shields carry over into this game, right, though?
Exactly. As we see the same lead. Maybe we'll see some more shields in play this time. This time, no Hydreigon in the back, though. Instead, it is the Gengar.
Oh, going for the combat, playing things differently. Gonna throw this right away. Milotic does shield
this time. Yeah, doesn't want to get caught with 2 shields at the end of the game again. So to shield up early, very smart. This Milotic now is still very, very healthy.
Exactly right. Great instincts to shield the combat, but you did take that early shield advantage, so the Milotic is just going to continue to apply pressure here.
Yeah, we've seen this matchup many times before already. These serves really adding up, as well as their Dragon Tails. It's actually going to be able to get to another serve before this Machamp fires a Cross Chop.
This is tough, though. You're giving up this shield. Oh, Machamp is barely hanging on, and we know the 2 Cross Chops still bring this Milotic very low, but might not do the trick.
No, at this point, I think he's gonna have to go for the Rock Slide. I think it does barely more damage, but decides to go for the Cross Chop. I think it still knocks out. If this Milotic decides to no shield, which we do see no shield coming through. Again, just keeping both the shields for the back.
Look at this. 0 to 2
Wow.
shields. This is so tough. Right,
this
Gengar
is really tough. I think Gengar is the last Pokemon you want to see when you're 2 shields down. These Shadow Balls will hurt both the Swampert and the Milotic.
Yeah, Gengar gonna shield up the Hydro Cannon and continue to build energy. This just looks like insurmountable odds here for the Swampert. Maybe you try to catch a move. No, here comes a Shadow Ball.
Does this knock out the Swampert? It must, right? Actually, it doesn't. Swampert much more tanky than I anticipated. In comes the Milotic. Brings in the Heracross at this point. Probably hoping to soak some energy and maybe get to the close combat here.
We'll see what happens. The surf comes through here. We know the close combat is not quite enough either. We get that shield as well, though. Here comes another surf. Wait, this might be a little bit closer than we first thought it would be.
Yeah, this is big because this will put the Heracross really, really low. And, you know, once it throws this this close combat, it's actually still locked in, which means the Swampert gets a big farm down.
We need Milotic to hang on here to have a chance, and it doesn't! Here comes the Swampert, and it can't take the counters.
Yeah, Heracross does farm down the Swampert, and it is a really well played game by Blazingly Blaze.
That was an incredible. I know this was the beginning of the losers final there, but an amazing match like that. There are no losers. Blazing Blaze moving on. We do have the next matchup. If you want to just show the bracket. All right, we have Christy Chris versus Olaf next. Who are you favoring in this losers first round of losers match? Who you want to?
I want to see that Venusaur do work again. So I'm rooting for Olaf here.
Absolutely. I think the Venusaur deserves its time to shine, but we can't count Crispy Chris out. I think he played really well in his initial set, just was unable to finish a couple of matches.
All right, let's go ahead and analyze the teams.
All right.
Oh, man, the Venusaur's gonna have a really rough time here, actually. But this is, dude, if Olaf brings Venusaur here, he's an absolute madman. Escavalier, Hydreigon, Trevenant, and Gallade on the other side, all to counter that Venusaur. And then that's an Ice Fang Hippowdon, which, well, Venusaur probably also doesn't love to see.
Let's look at that Hydreigon there. We've got Venusaur, we've got Machamp, Trevenant, and Chandelure. I almost feel like, with the exception of Machamp perhaps, that Hydreigon has some pretty commanding matchups.
Oh yeah, and Electivire too, of course. You have to watch that for your Ice Punch, but you can probably survive one. So if shields are up, you can probably just Dragon Breath it all the way down. So again, looking like a pretty good time for Hydreigon. Perhaps combined with the Gallade, which also looks very strong against Olaf's team. Beats both the Milotic and the Machamp, which are troublesome for the Hydreigon, of course. And besides that, good matchup versus Venusaur, decent matchup versus Chandelure. Unless it's running Hex, we actually haven't seen that moveset. If that's Incinerate, Galeda's play there. And then versus Electivire, it's also quite decent.
Well, let's go to the battles.
All right.
So I wanted to ask you this, though. We haven't seen Escavalier yet. I really sincerely feel that it has Mega Horn and Drill Run that probably gives it the most utility against this team, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Other options, of course, Aerial Ace and Acid Spray, but I doubt Acid Spray has much effect here. And Aerial Ace, well, we are the King channel here. I think Aerial Ace is kind of illegal, so let's not run that. But unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna see much play in this matchup versus Olaf. Of course, the best freaking Venusaur answer in the game, pretty much. But besides that, gets walled by Chandelure, Trevenant, and not that great versus the Machamp and Electivire either.
You're exactly right. We recognize that the Trevenant Gallade core has been strong for Crispy Chris and other trainers this tournament, but the spice picks on the right, Chandelure and Hippo, I'd love to see some play from those.
All right, we are starting out with this match. Hydreigon into a Machamp. Huge call from Olaf here. Picks up a great lead. Trevenant, a safe switch from Chris right here. Olaf doesn't really have a great response to this.
Yeah, we know staying in here, opting for the Rock Slide. If you know your counts, you know this isn't quite payback energy. And no shielding. I like this play, but again, with no hard answer, like you said, though, you have to beat this Trevenant by committee. Shadow Ball.
Yeah. Shadow Ball coming through. Are we gonna see a shield from our champ? We are not. In comes to Trevenant from Olaf's side. Probably gonna try to farm down this Trevenant, hopefully before he gets to another Shadow Ball. But is gonna get hit by the Seed Bomb right here.
Yeah, great counting here on the right side. We recognize this is not Shadow Ball, so you take that resisted Seed Bomb and you lag a bit.
A lot bit.
A lot bit. He lagged for about...
Well,
Two
this
seconds.
might actually be okay because the Hydreigon gets less farm now.
Was that a strat? That could have been a strat to take a
It
little more
might have
damage.
been a strat. It might have been a strat.
Here we see the Shadow Ball getting fired here. Obviously, you don't want to see Bomb, a Dragon flying type, or the Hydreigon in particular here. Oh my god, Dragon Dark, excuse me.
Still does a good chunk though. I'm surprised with how
Still.
much that did, to be honest, to the dark type. Not gonna bring in a Machamp here. Gonna bring in the Milotic into this Hydreigon. Does a lot of damage with the Dragon Tails. Dark Pulse coming through from the Hydreigon though. Are we gonna see a shield?
It is a stab, Dark Pulse, commanding that shield. I have to say, though, Hydreigon has nowhere to go. Great team composition here by Crispy.
Allied though, looking really, really nice at this point. Leaf Blade for a Milotic, Confusion for the Machamp. Can it sweep this game at this point?
I think you dedicate your shields to the to the Gallade. You have to get through this Milotic and then try to beat that Machamp, which, if I recall, has very little energy.
Yeah, you're right. I'm pretty sure it used a lot of it, if not all of it, on that Trevenant. So if you can get rid of this Milotic, this Gallade is looking quite good at farming down that Machamp in the back.
Draws that shield, gonna push up for a Leaf Blade here. I love this play. You don't want to get hit with another Surf.
No, Chris also very patient there, making sure to throw the Leaf Blade in the middle of a Dragon Tail, so the Machamp cannot catch. And we see the Machamp coming here, get farmed out by the Confusions. And even though Crispy had a very bad lead with Machamp into Hydreigon, able to pull out the victory with a Gallade sweep.
Really, really nice. Yeah, I think the composition was not friendly at all to the Hydreigon, so it's a very a proud testament to the ability to come back from a negative lead like that. What do you think, though? Do you think the Hydreigon goes back to the bench, or do you think we bring it one more time?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Chris just runs the same team again. Because Gallade, Trevenant, Hydreigon all have so many good matchups on the team. And we do see him run the Hydreigon again with the same line. Trevenant comes in again. This is basically this exact same thing, except now we see the Trevenant counter swap a lot sooner.
Exactly. Swapping in immediately, playing this out a little bit differently. We do see the Shadow Ball right away, and we don't get a shield!
He tries to call it, but it goes down.
That is absolutely
man.
massive, but still the Hydreigon just seems out of place against a Machamp and Milotic back line.
Yeah, at this point, Hydreigon doesn't have that much play anymore, but the Gallade and Trevenant definitely do.
This looks like a 2v3, and it seems like a very comfortable 2v3 for Trevenant and Gallade as they try to take on this team here. We see the Rock Slide come through, and he hangs on! Gets the Shadow Ball!
Wow! I was not expecting him to get to the Shadow Ball right here, but very confident about his IVs. Gets to the Shadow Ball, does a lot of damage to this Machamp.
We've seen Shadow Balls flying left and right. We're going to see the Gallade come in and farm down the Machamp. The question here, the X factor, is that Dragon Tail damage, though.
Yeah, Gallade is very squishy, especially in this Master League at only 3k CP. So maybe these Dragon Tails do enough to farm it down and to shoot.
Confusion hurts. What I envisioned here was a 2-shield matchup where both trainers just try to farm each other down, and then you try to Blizzard the Hydreigon, perhaps, but we don't have the health to do it.
No, one Leaf Blade plus a lot of Confusions able to take out this Milotic, and it's another great match.
So I sincerely feel that if you play that matchup out, you at least give yourself a chance to burn those shields, maybe even bait the Hydreigon and try to get a Blizzard there.
Yeah, seeing as the Gallade did finish off with 2 Leaf Blades, I think Olaf was just very aware how that matchup went. I think no matter what, that Gallade was gonna finish off that Milotic. So at that point, unfortunately, there just wasn't any play left.
Absolutely.
I actually wasn't ready because all these games have been going to 3 games, and this is our first one that's actually going to the 2-0. We do have the bracket updated, so we're going to take a look here on the losers bracket side. We're actually going to be featuring Oscar versus Blazingly Blaze next. Before we get into that match, final thoughts on that previous match.
I really like the way Crispy Chris played that Hydreigon, Trevenant, Gallade core. Knew that Hydreigon could have some pretty hard counters, but if they brought those hard counters, Trevenant and Gallade were just gonna shine, and well, they did. So that was just a very smart team composition by Crispy Chris there.
Yeah, I agree with everything Tho said. It just seemed like the Trevenant Gallade combo was just too much to overcome. But it looks like we have some brand new teams on the screen. Gentlemen, what do you think of these?
Oh man, Hydreigon again, but we do see a Granbull on the other side, which is not very nice.
How many charms do you think the Hydreigon can survive?
Oh,
two.
I'd say it dies after the 4th.
Yeah, I think so too. It is an Ultra League Grand Ball. But yeah, what are your thoughts? What are some good core breakers on each of these squads?
Oh man, the Milotic on Blazingly Blaze side does look very powerful. Just has to watch out for the fighters and Granbull a bit, but you know, if shields are down, it can still do a lot of damage with Surf. Besides that, I actually think the Charizard on Oscar's side looks pretty nice if you can get shields down.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if you commit to that Granbull, then its number one bodyguard has to be the Swampert, because the two strongest answers to Granbull in the Gengar and the Magnezone would not appreciate Hydro Cannons from the Mud Boy there. So if you run that core, you really have to be very aware of how you control switch advantage in that matchup.
I definitely agree. There's actually nothing on Blazingly Blaze team that appreciates taking either a Hydro or an Earthquake, so we're definitely going to see the Swampert here, I feel like.
All right, perfect. Let's move on to the battle screen and see these two giants go at it.
All right, what are you expecting for the lead here, Speedy?
Yeah, that's a really good question. If you're gonna run the 2 shield charm, you have to keep the Granbull in the back. I would really like to see the Charizard in the lead early to try to get shield advantage, because even against some of these matchups that it might lose, it can still do a lot of work with Blast Burn, not to be underestimated.
I definitely do agree. Hardest counter to Charizard, also that Milotic, which we've often seen in the safe swap position instead of the lead. So the odds of Blazing Blaze leading that Milotic quite low makes Charizard pretty good lead.
I would agree. We do see the hair cross on both sides as well. We've seen Mamoswine before, and it just did not impress me too much with the bulk. It looked like it actually got chipped down pretty quickly by neutral damage. Are you a Mamo fan, Tho?
Oh, ever since last Master Classic, I am. I ran it for a bit with Stone Edge to take out the Ho-Ohs, and that was quite fun. But you're right, it is very squishy, which is why I'm not really expecting to see it here. What we do see, though, is a mirror Heracross lead.
I'm curious, though, is that Best Buddy ribbon showing up on both screens? Because we see it on one. We'll take a look here when we flip the camera. These team comps are not what I expected.
No, not at all. Honestly, I wasn't really expecting the Heracross to come out, but we do see it here. It's just really gonna depend on who wins CMP here. We do see one Best Buddy, one is not, so probably gonna go in the Best Buddy's favor here.
Absolutely. That little edge you get from that boost up to level 41 does help. Here comes the close combat.
Yeah, does this do more than it does do more than a Rock Blast. Very smart. Throws it and goes straight into the elements, but unfortunately is answered by this Milotic.
Absolutely. Milotic coming in here trying to silence the dragon, but it does not have much to offer in terms of charge moves. Here comes the Outrage. I think this gets a shield.
I think he still survives, but yeah, he does opt to go for the shield. He already pressed the Surf, I think, which is honestly quite unfortunate, because yeah, he wants to get all the farm he can get, so just no bubbles that, and tries to Dragon Tail this down at this point.
Absolutely. Milotic trying to devour the Salamence here, and it does get the job done. It's got a ton of energy, and I think it can command a shield back here, depending on what comes in.
Yeah, definitely. I would assume we're going to see the Heracross here, just to farm down this Milotic, but definitely going to have to use a shield. Now, shields are almost down here, and we do have a Swampert in the back, so that thing might see a lot of play.
Absolutely. Looks like our right screen is what we're going to focus on. Trying to get the big counter down, though, and he doesn't reach it.
Ooh, that is huge. Does have a lot of energy stored up, but seeing as there's a Gengar in the back from Blazingly Blaze side, this might still be rough.
We'll see. Going for the Rock Blast, but that Shadow Claw did come through. You really have to pay close attention to your Heracross's health. You don't want to miss out on any moves.
Not gonna see a shield here. Oh, and switch it out with the Rock Blast stored.
I like the move a lot because you don't want to let Gengar get too far ahead. We know the Shadow Ball does so much damage to the Swampert, so he gets the Hydro early, and the Mud Shots are going to add up. I like this combination here, though.
Yeah, you're right, and it's very unlikely that this Gengar is able to build up to a Shadow Ball and a Shadow Punch anyway, so even though Heracross loses CMP, you're likely not even gonna get into that situation.
Mud Shot. Oh, gets the Hydro. I think this swap might have sealed it.
Yeah! Well, maybe. It really depends on if this Gengar is gonna survive this Rock Blast. Or maybe it does get to the Shadow Punch now.
Oh, we're seeing both screens. Oh, here comes the Rock Blast.
Oh, here comes the Rock Blast, and it does take out the Gengar. Wow. Really close match.
Maybe getting a bit of happy feet here, making that switch out. I don't think you need to do that. I think you let the Gengar go. You take the health advantage and maybe try to CMP tie. That was so tough, though. A critical last moment decision.
Yeah, it was really well played by Oscar there, though. Really, that Swampert just putting in so much work.
Yeah, that was really, really tough there in the end to watch, but really well played by both trainers. What do you expect from game 2? Because game 1, we didn't call the lines at all. I mean, that was just they opted for very neutral matchups, right?
Exactly. In hindsight, the Heracross does look pretty good against both lines. Honestly, really only has 1 or 2 answers on both teams, and pretty good against 4 others. So it makes sense that they're bringing those. However, I feel like Blazingly Blaze might lead the Gengar this time. Oscar played a pretty risky line with the Heracross in the lead. Wait, what was his backbone again? Did he have Machamp or did he have the Salamence there? I think he had the Salamence.
It was the Salamence because it was answered by the Milotic.
No, then I'm mistaken. For some reason, I thought it was Machamp, but no, it's Salamence. So not that weak against Gengar at all. But still, might consider leading the Gengar this time, calling another Heracross lead.
Absolutely. We'll see. I would still love to see some Charizard, but we'll see how these trainers decide to play it. Oscar's on their right. Blazing is on the left, I believe. Here comes Milotic into Swampert.
This is a very interesting matchup. Milotic is really tanky, and Swampert very spammy and attack weighted. These Earthquakes should really hurt the Milotic, but these Dragon Tails are also really adding up on the Swampert.
Absolutely. We see the Milotic gathering lots of energy. Here comes a move. The first Swampert Earthquake of the entire tournament, though.
And we do see it shielded up, unfortunately. We're going to have to wait a little longer to find out how much damage it does.
One of our trainers...
the Milotic kind of standing still right there. That did look like a little bit of lag, unfortunately. I think we lost one of our phones as well, so we're going back to this. Oh my god! He hits the Blizzard! That is not what I was expecting, but very smart. Calling that the Swampert will no shield, only that he can survive a shield. Brings in the Heracross into the Gramble, though. Oh, no.
I'm in Spain without the S, though. This is a really tough turn of events.
This is not what you like to see if you're a Heracross.
Oh, this is so tough. Grand Bull devours the Bug Fighter with ease, standing there strong, over half health with 1 shield for each trainer. Man. Here comes the Gengar. It's not over.
Rough. It is definitely not over. If this Gengar can get some energy here and Shadow Ball the Salamence, maybe? Still a shot, but he's gonna have to shield this up. In comes the Salamence. No defense drop, that was pretty huge. This is just a Shadow Punch, so gonna no shield it.
Trying to get rid of the Grand Bull, lands a Shadow Punch into the Salamence. Great recognition not to shield. You know it's not a Shadow Ball. And now the Dragon Tails are going to go to work here, though.
Oh, they are. These are doing so much damage. Gengar able to switch out there, though, with a bunch of energy. You know, Speedy, if this Milotic is able to farm down the Salamence, Gengar might still a play.
Milotic can't hang on, but the Gengar might have a chance here, though. Let's see if it can claw through the Salamence. No, it can't.
It cannot, and it gets farmed down.
That was so tough to watch. Man, I don't even know what to say, King. I'm stunned.
Those matches are, I was stunned. Just to confirm, Oscar won that?
Yeah, Oscar did win both.
Wow, that was my jaw was dropped on many occasions. One, the blizzard coming out of nowhere because we couldn't see the screen, and then the
Yeah.
safe switch into the Heracross was absolutely madness there. And yeah, I was looking away for a moment. Then all of a sudden here was Grand Bowl on Heracross. That was craziness there. We do have the bracket updated if we want to turn to that. And we have next up, we're gonna have Shadow Brady versus Christy Chris. Again, let's take a look at the teams and see who we're favoring. Oh, actually, we're gonna cut to a commercial. Just give the battlers a little bit of a break because I know they've been battling pretty intensely. And yeah, let's let those phones cool down and turn to commercial. Are back. We're actually gonna move up to the winner's side. Dr. Dave versus Stefan. Unfortunately, one of our battlers has gone into the shadows, and we're not sure where they are. Right, just, a little preview there, but let's take a look at the teams. Between Dr. Dave and Stefan, this is going to be a very critical match on who's going to proceed to the grand finals and wait the winner of the losers bracket, or who's going to be sent down to the losers bracket to try to claw their way back up for a rematch. Go ahead, you two, break it down.
Ooh, okay. All right, so I definitely see the Salamence shared by both trainers, the Gengar appearing on both sides. See, that's Swampert, Machamp, Conkeldurr. This one seems very neutral. We've seen a similar matchup earlier on in the tournament where it was kind of hard to make any definitive calls as to what might come. I think Milotic safe swap, Heracross lead, something like that.
Oh, I definitely agree. Milotic really only answered by that Magnezone, of course, but Magnezone still takes a lot of damage from reserves, and if you give like a Swampert some farm down, the potential offer that, I think that could be a good play for Dr. Dave, actually, the Milotic Swampert combination. Because Swampert really only has to worry about the Salamence mainly, and then the Heracross to a lesser extent.
Yeah, absolutely. And we look for those Dragon Tail resists, and the only one I see on my screen is that Magnezone from Stefan. Otherwise, that Salamence looks extremely powerful. Going to be soft checked by Milotic in just about every case. I would love to see some Electivire play as well, though. What do you think?
I think Electivire looks pretty strong here. I mean, it gets hard walled by the Mamoswine, of course, but everything else doesn't really want to take a Wild Charge or Ice Punch to the face. Maybe that same counts for the Magnezone on Doctor or on Stefan's side, actually, because Wild Charges hit for a lot of damage on everything except for that Swampert.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm interested in seeing whether or not Dr. Dave can get the alignment of the Magnezone on the Swampert, whether it's after the Magnezone takes something out and the big farm down, and even multiple Hydrocans will do a lot to the Salamence. I'm curious on who you're favoring. We need some predictions from you too.
Oh man, I think in this matchup, if Dr. Dave can really leverage that Swampert well, I think he has.
Okay, we're just gonna get straight to it.
All
right. Salamence into the Gengar, and we do see the Swampert Milotic combination in the back from Dr. Dave versus Heracross Conkeldurr.
My goodness, these Dragon Tails. We just started the game, though, and this Gengar is already deep into the yellow. It's one tail away from the red. Makes a great call here on a Shadow Ball shield.
Yeah, that's a huge shield. This Salamence takes out the Gengar and still has a lot of health left here. Gonna go for the Outrage immediately. Knows that Dr. Dave has nothing to resist those moves, so it's a very safe immediate throw of the Outrage. Gonna switch out into his Heracross now, which gets answered with a Swampert.
I really like these plays from Stefan. I think making that force switch in really does help bring out that Swampert, give Conkeldurr the matchup that it wants. This is pretty good for the closing moments of the match. Let's see, Hydro comes through. As we know, though, you can take at least one. And he's up to double combats here.
Oh man, I think Swampert might barely hang on there. But he already has another combat loaded, which might come out immediately as well. Yeah, at this point, there's no point in shooting this. You're just really gonna hope you can finish off with the Milotic now.
Exactly. That CMP was very, very clever there. In comes the Milotic. Gets 2 Dragon Tails worth of energy, but it's got 2 Pokemon to beat.
Yeah, and 2 Pokemon that are almost full health, but a Conkeldurr full health and the Salamence still has a lot of health as well. Conkeldurr, a little bit tankier than Machamp, can definitely take these serves very nicely.
Conkeldurr has very short little legs, but he is standing strong, takes that surf with ease. Could probably tank another one if it really desires, but recognizing the Dragon Tail pressure, going to shield up the Conkeldurr. You want to get at least one dynamic punch if you can.
Yeah, at this point, if you can hit a dynamic punch onto this Milotic, you're looking pretty good. However, it seems like he's just gonna try to go for the farm down here. Isn't expecting to get the 2 moves, I guess, since that Salamence, of course, gets 2 moves very, very slowly. So opts to just go for the counter damage and try to farm down with the Salamence here.
Yeah, I think recognizing the Dragon Tail plus counter pressure is a lot. You don't even need to throw charge moves there if you can guarantee that the Milotic won't get a Blizzard against the Salamence. So,
Exactly.
well done.
Very good recognition by Stefan there. And, well, he takes the first game. All right,
Yeah.
Next match, though. I think Dr. Dave needs to do something about that Salamence double counter line because it was so strong this time.
Yeah, Salamence double counter, definitely formidable here for Dave's team. And there aren't a whole lot of hard answers outside of the Gengar. Here we see the Magnezone into Electivire. The Electrics are at it.
Ooh, Battle of the Electrics. This matchup really depends on whoever throws the first Wild Charge, because then you're gonna get debuffed and the opposing Wild Charge is gonna do more damage. What I really like about Dr. Dave this time is that the Gengar is in the back. So if this Electivire can get some shields down, Gengar can just go to town.
Exactly. I love the Gengar in the back there, saving the Gengar for, and hopefully a favorable matchup down the line. We see another move come through here, forcing a shield from the Magnezone, which is actually very critical. But this Electivire is double debuffed, 4 times debuffed.
Yeah, it is so squishy now. This Wild Charge will definitely knock out the fire from this point, but is at a shield advantage. Bringing in the Salamence here, actually. In comes a Heracross, and it's a pretty good matchup for the Gengar.
Interesting switch in turn of events, maybe trying to lure something out. We see the Rock Blast come through here. We know Gengar can tank one of these, but it's going to apply a lot of pressure to the Heracross.
Yeah, it is. He's gonna have to throw a Shadow Ball before another Rock Blast comes out, and he does. Let's it go, actually. This will take out the cross for sure.
Yeah, maybe looking for farm down opportunities here. Still down a shield, though. Really resisting giving up that second shield. I assume Salamence comes in here.
Oh man, there are still 2 shields on the right side here. But Salamence, Dragon Tails? Unfortunately, you can't shield those.
Exactly.
Doing a lot.
You can't protect against them, and we see both Salamences just taking bites out of each other. And I think Magnezone can spark through.
Oh, he can. Wow. That's a good game. Goes down with 2 shields. Unfortunate.
Exactly. You wish you could have spent those somewhere, but won't get that second chance. Really impressive plays there by Stefan.
Yeah, really well played.
all
That's a
right.
victory to Stefan right there.
Yeah, so the Shadow Brady Christy Chris match has been decided offline, and Christy Chris is actually going to move on and face off against Oscar. Dr. Dave going to move on to the losers bracket final, while Stefan is going to be waiting the winner of who's ever going to win out of these 3. If we're ready to take a look at the teams between Oscar and Christy Chris, we can do some analysis and think who's going to move on, and curious on how this is going to play out. These are 4 formidable battlers remaining. Yeah, so what do you think of these teams?
Right.
Oh, this is actually a rematch of their first round, and Oscar was able to pull this out, but I remember this being a distinctly very close match.
Yeah, and I think
this was a really good match. I think the Gramble really carried for Oscar last time around, so if Crispy Chris can keep it a little more in check, maybe by utilizing the Escaf this time, or a little bit better play with a Trevenant and Milotic, I think he has a good chance here.
Yeah, we recognize that Gallade and Trevenant core being so powerful. We wanted Charizard last time. We didn't exactly get it, or at least not to the effect that we wanted, instead opting for that Grand Bull. I really do love the Salamence, and as we learned, that Hydreigon Salamence matchup is actually pretty close, but it just doesn't look like there's any room for the Hydreigon with a Charmer and 2 counter users on Oscar's team.
No, exactly. That Gramble is just way too scary for Chris's team. Doesn't have anything to really hard counter it, so bringing in the Hydreigon would be extremely risky. But if you get it lined up versus the Swampert or Charizard, it is not too bad.
All right. So we've seen these two battlers go at it. Why don't we just go to the battle screen and see how this will play out?
Let's do it.
It's time for a rematch, though. What's your mindset if you're in a tournament here and you get a second shot at your opponent? What's your approach here?
Oh man, that is rough. If you've already lost once, the pressure is kind of off, to be honest. You got nothing more to lose, so you know what? Maybe just try something risky and see if it pays off. And he does decide to lead with the Trevenant here.
All right, our Grand Bull on the right starts to charm down the Trevenant there. You've got Salamence and Heracross in the back. Interesting.
This is almost an Ultra League matchup, Speedy. We got a 2550 CP Trevenant and a not even 2500 CP Grand Bull going at it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And he does let that first one through, which means Grand Bull's very weak and it can't get the crunch.
Oh, man, Trevenant wins out the matchup and has a lot of energy to spare. Probably gonna be able to get to a Shadow Ball on either one of his Pokemon.
Throws the Dragon Tail Trevenant, showing its bulk, hangs on, gets a Shadow Ball here.
This will do a lot of damage if it goes unshielded, which it does. Bring Salamence into the yellow. Do you see what I see in the back here?
I know, it's Hippo time.
It is Hippo time. In comes the cross. Gonna stay in a little longer with the Hippo. Actually, Chris here has 2 answers for this Salamence. It has nowhere to go against the Dragon Tail Milotic as well, so it's looking pretty good.
Exactly. The question is, how long do you stay in? When do you make a switch? Or do you make a switch at all? Or just save both shields for that Milotic in the back? We see another Rock Weather Ball coming through here. Heracross back against the wall.
Yeah, this is looking pretty tough for Oscar at this point. I think Chris is really just waiting until that Heracross throws a close combat here, but Oscar refuses, doesn't want to drop his defense, and goes for the Rock Blast right there, hoping for a shield maybe, but a shield does not come up.
Oh, making the switch, saving that Hippowdon for a possible sack swap later. I love it. You already have 2 shields. Why not have 3, though?
I agree. Finally, this Heracross is going for a close combat, which we do see. Shielded, defense is lowered, Dragon Tail does sneak through. It's gonna do a lot of damage to either the Heracross or the Salamence if it does decide to switch in.
We see that move come through again, making the switch here into the Salamence. You clear the debuff, but you get Dragon Tail down. Your Heracross is low. The Surf is pending. I think the bug is going to get washed away here, though.
Yeah, really well played by Crispy Chris here. Maybe a bit of a risky line, but ended up paying off. 2 Salamence answers in the back, ended up really working out well for him against his Salamence.
I love it because if you assume the Salamence is coming, if they make the switch into Salamence, you just go with your Hippowdon. If they don't, then you make your safe switch into Milotic and you save that Hippo for the Dragon in the back. Really nice composition, like you said.
Exactly. However, I do feel as if Oscar had put a little more shields into that Gramble, it would have been a lot harder for Chris in the back if shields are down. So perhaps this round Oscar will go with a similar strategy, but allocate a couple more shields to that Charmer.
Exactly, and if we think about game 1, we think about the other picks on Oscar's team. Charizard doesn't feel very safe. You've got Hippowdon and Milotic on that game 1 team from Crispy. I mean, that's, there's not a whole lot of room for the fire flying type.
Exactly. As well as for Swampert, we've seen it do a lot of work earlier in the tournament, but it doesn't look that great versus Chris's team. But Oscar thinks otherwise, brings it in, and it gets matched up versus the Milotic, which is really not that bad.
Yeah, we've seen the Milotic blizzard a Swampert before. Let's see what happens here. Swampert building quite a bit of energy. Gets to the Earthquake here, though.
We're gonna see a shield. We haven't seen this hit just yet, and we are not gonna see it hit right now, it seems, because it does get shielded up. In comes a Surf. Are we gonna see a shield?
One Dragon Tail short of the Blizzard. Let's see how good the counting is here. No shields the Surf, though.
Yeah, that is big. He's gonna get to another Surf right here, though, right before the Swampert can get to an Earthquake. This will warrant the shield, or the Swampert's gonna go down with a lot of energy, and it does go down with a lot of energy, which is a very interesting move right here, I feel like.
Very.
Charizard and Salamence in the back. Interesting.
Yeah, this Milotic is so healthy. This Salamence is going to lose a lot of HP trying to farm down. And it gets a Surf as well, just continuing to apply pressure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to shoot this up, I think. Otherwise, it's just going to get farmed down.
Yeah, this is really, really tough for the Salamence. Not a hard answer in sight. Another Surf is coming here as well, though.
Oh, man. This is not what you want to see if you're Salamence. You're gonna have to shield up again. Does have an outrage loaded though, which will do a lot of damage versus whatever Crispy has in the back.
Oh, takes an extra Dragon Tail. Oh, and it gets sniped!
Oh, gets sniped by the Hippo! And in comes the Zard, and well, if you're Hippo, you are enjoying this very much right now.
Hippo is going to throw a big rock here. We see some finesse, little scribbles there on the left side. It's not quite enough, but we know the Ice Fangs will do the trick.
Yeah, exactly. We won't even get to see the tree in the back. That is bye-bye Charizard. And it is a GG to Crispy Chris. Gets his revenge from the first round on Oscar.
Wow. The adjustments were incredible. King, I'm not sure how much you were able to watch, but that was pretty dominant for Crispy Chris.
That was, Chris made it really close in the first round, and obviously, as is pointed out, made the adjustments and absolutely dominated that match. We can take a look at the bracket. We have the losers finals, losers final that we're gonna eventually zoom into, but we want to take a look at the journey Chris and Dr. Dave has made their way through. Chris losing the first round, but then beating Olaf, then beating Shadow Brady, and then taking revenge against Oscar. And we're going to see whether or not Christy Chris has been eating an apple a day and keeping the doctor away. But let's take a look at the teams between these two, and tell me who you're favoring, what do you like, and how we're going to go there.
This is not another rematch, right? These look like very familiar lines. I really like how let's see, Dr. Dave. Oh
no.
I am mistaken, but I think Crispy Chris is gonna have a really good time with that Hydreigon Gallade core again.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the team there as well, Swampert doesn't have many places to go. Hydreigon, Trevenant, Gallade, and Milotic. So answering the Hippo and the Escavalier becomes very, very difficult. And I'm not sure. Maybe some more Hippo play. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Gallade Hippo kind of cover this entire team, right?
Oh, yeah. Gallade, Hippo, Hydreigon core? Hello?
Oh, God.
That looks pretty good. That does look pretty good.
Wow. King, I'm curious, based on the battles that we've seen a lot of Milotic switch-ins. We've seen more Heracross than I thought. Based on how this meta is this kind of what you expected?
Yeah, this is what I expected. I expected Milotic to be used as a safe switch quite a bit, and it's been really strong, and we've even seen a couple interesting moveset in Blizzard and in Hyper Beam, and obviously the Hyper Beam really useful in the mirror match. But yeah, if we're ready to see these two duke it out, then let's go for it.
I am so ready. I am very hyped. Hopefully we'll see some Hippo or Hydreigon play here. Those are some of my favorite ones. So excited to see them being played by such a good battler in Crispy Chris here.
Yeah, I wanted to make a couple of comments. I think the Escavalier is just gathering dust. It really has not seen many matchups at all.
I really wonder if it's like okay versus Milotic though. Of course it does resist those Dragon Tails, but it will probably take a lot of damage from the Surfs. But maybe it can do a lot of damage back with the Mega Horns. I wonder if that's a reason why Crisp has it on his team here.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's got at least generally neutral play. I mean, you get shields down, you land a drill run on a Gengar or an Electivire. It really does add up.
Bro,
Plus, you're resisting the Dragon Tails from Salamence. It's just hard to hit back with the Escav. Maybe
exactly.
that's why, yeah, it's not too popular. I want to say as well, a lot of people ran from the Trevenant because the CP is so low, but the Spooky Tree has been very impressive, though.
It has been putting in so much more work than I expected. It's just taking out all these champs, doing a lot of damage versus Salamence. Milotic doesn't like to see it. Even Fire with the Ice Punch coverage gets taken out by the tree. So yeah, this looks like a very dominant matchup for Chris, just from the lineups, to be honest.
Yeah, as you just look over this team, Machamp, Gengar, Swampert, Milotic, 4 out of the 6 already don't appreciate Trevenant, and then Electivire still has a hard time. Hydreigon into Electivire.
Hey, there we go. Hydreigon into Electivire, pretty decent matchup. Even though Electivire's Ice Punch, this is a positive matchup for the Hydreigon.
Absolutely. Going straight for the Ice Punch as well. Early no shield, though, we're going to learn just how tanky Hydreigon is.
Not that tanky, I think, but it is actually pretty tanky. That did not even 50%. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good, Hydreigon. Keep up the good work. We see the early shield from Electivire. I didn't peek at the back lines, but it seems like he's really committed to stopping the Hydreigon now.
Yeah, he has a Swampert and a Salamence in the back, so not too bad against Hydreigon, but it seems like he just really wants to get another Ice Punch off here. Winning switch advantage can be quite huge in some of these matches.
No, absolutely. We do see the Trevenant come in to answer the Electivire. Electivire putting in so much work. Ice Punch can be dealing super effective damage here.
Yeah, gonna let it go actually. Wow, this is a lot of damage on a Trevenant. I would have expected a shield there, but I think Crispy just knows once the Electivire is gone, Milotic is pretty damn solid against everything on Dr. Dave's team. So allocating both shields to Milotic and hoping it can sweep here. Let's see if it works out.
Exactly. I was kind of questioning the switch in here. You send out the Milotic when you could have gotten a farm down, but I think this kind of opens a door in a way for the Swampert here, because if you can chip the Milotic, you bring in the Salamence, maybe you can close things out against the Trevenant, but we'll see. Here comes the Shielded Earthquake. Great call here.
That is a really, really good call. That Earthquake would have done a lot of damage. Gonna go for another Surf here. Before the Swampert gets to another Earthquake, we are gonna see a shield here. Really, really wants to get shields down before the Salamence comes out.
No, absolutely right. And we see the Swampert again applying so much pressure with another Earthquake. The problem, though, is that you spend all your energy, so he recognizes that he's going to get farmed, switches into Salamence with the shields down. This is tough, though.
This is really tough. I feel like he's going to have to try to catch, which he doesn't get the catch, but does get to the Shadow Ball here, which I think should be enough to take out this Salamence.
Did you see how gorgeous that counting was right before the outrage?
Yeah, that was really, really huge. Can this Swampert still get to a Hydro Cannon though? Unfortunately, it cannot, and this tree does take it out. Again! As we said, the Trevenant is putting in so much work. Really, really nice moves.
Trevenant looks incredible, but I just can't get over the counting there. Switching in, building the Shadow Ball 1 turn before the outrage to land that KO move and not have to shield. Just incredible counting. That's a high degree of skill right there.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Do you think we're gonna see any adaptations by Chris at this point? I feel like his lineup is just so solid. If he just runs it back, he can probably win versus anything Dr. Dave brings in.
Yeah, as we head into this third match, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I mean, Gallade and Trevenant just seemed really overpowered. All right, Machamp, Gallade. Oh my goodness, though, the pressure continues.
Yeah, this is really good for Crispy at this point. In comes the Salamence, doesn't really have a great response though, so stays in with the Gallade for a little bit, gets a bit of chip, and now probably have to farm down the Salamence.
We talked about how close this matchup is in the one shield scenario, but look at this Salamence barely surviving into the secondary matchup here. It's going to get Dragon Breath all the way, though.
Yeah, it's gonna apply a lot of pressure with these Dragon Tails, though, bringing the Hydreigon into the yellow. Nice farm down raids for the Machamp. If this Hydreigon could get to a Dragon Pulse, that would be pretty huge, though. That might warrant a shield from Miss Machamp.
I think you absolutely draw a shield here. This is a stab Dragon Pulse. Oh, no shield!
No shield! It's gonna save 2 shields for that fire. Yeah, Dragon Pulse also... Wow, that's actually more than I thought. I was gonna say, not the strongest dragon move, but is able to farm down this champ. And we see a 2-shield Electivire come out now. Does have the super effective Ice Punches for his Revenant. And as we saw earlier, 2 of them do knock out. So who knows, maybe this Electivire is still able to sweep, but it's gonna be quite close.
Electivire walking a tightrope here. You have to manage your energy perfectly as you try to work your way through these 2 Pokemon. Electivire, not very bulky, and it's already spent a shield. Here comes the Ice Punch. This is critical. Does this KO?
Ooh, I think Gallade will barely hang on there, as it does, and gets to the Leaf Blade right here. Do we see a shield there? No shield coming through. Fire gonna take a lot of damage here. It is really squishy. Into the yellow. We see the tree come in, and at this point, I think we're gonna see a Shadow Claw down.
Crispy Chicken heads up, or Crispy Chris heads up play to swap in the Trevenant. Is it lunchtime? And farm down, because otherwise you allow the Electivire to farm the Gallade. Really impressive plays there.
Yeah, very, very well done by Crispy Chris. Really, really doing a lot of work with that Revenant right there.
Even the doctor couldn't stop the crispy chicken, right?
Exactly.
That was a phenomenal utilization by Crispy Chris. Just amazing team, right? And even better execution. Really, really well done. That Dragon Pulse put that Machamp. I was actually kind of shocked by the no shield on the Machamp because it would do quite a bit. I'm sure Dr. Dave was hoping for the Dark Pulse. Unfortunately, the Dragon Pulse came through there. And we do have the winners final here, or the grand finals, I should say. We're going to have Stefan versus Crispy Chris. Obviously, Crispy Chris has to win 2 best of 3s back to back. Stefan just needs to win once, since it is a double elimination format. And Dr. Dave taking the very nice 3rd place in this tournament. If we go ahead and take a look at the teams. And all right, take your time. Let's break this down. I want to know exactly how each of them can win and what each of them have to look out for.
Wow. As we head into the finals here, though, I mean, the Gallade and Trevenant core, I didn't expect it to be this good. I just don't see it being able to... I don't see Stefan being able to stop it now.
No, you're right. The Gallade, basically pretty okay versus everything on Stefan's lineup, as well as the Trevenant. The Trevenant really only has to watch out maybe for the Mamoswine, but it has Seed Bombs to hit back. Then probably the Kangar, but yeah, you can just Shadow Ball that as well. Salamence, we have seen how much a Shadow Ball does. Salamence doesn't like it, so you're right. The Gallade Trevenant core, extremely strong, especially when you pair it with like the bulk of Milotic. I think that could be a really, really good line for Chris. We cannot forget, though, Chris has to win 2 best of 3s in a row here. So even though it seems like he might have a little bit of a lineup advantage now, winning 2 best of 3s in a row is extremely difficult either way.
Absolutely. And to complement that core as well, look at the Milotic and how much neutral play it has across the board. I mean, you have to be concerned about the Magnezone. Gengar has play. Heracross can be annoyingly difficult to remove. But otherwise, Milotic actually looks very solid too.
Exactly. We cannot count out Stefan's team though. He's an incredible player. I think he has a lot of play, especially with that Salamence. If he gets it lined up first, the Tree or the Gallade, it does generally win those matchups. Besides that, the Heracross looks pretty okay if he can avoid the Tree and the Gallade. So I think maybe a Salamence Heracross core could be quite solid. Maybe combined with that Magnezone, which I think actually looks pretty good. Destroys the Milotic, does pretty okay against the Gallade as well, as long as you can shield a close combat. And besides that, does some neutral damage across the board.
Yeah, I was wondering whether or not Stefan will bring in the Magnezone, because I think obviously having a check for that melodic is going to be really important, especially on the stage switch. I could definitely see the Magnezone in the back to respond to the melodic, but still has to be careful because it is pretty squishy and those surfs do add up. All right, let's get to the grand finals here. I'm really hyped for this match. You two take it away. You've done a phenomenal job already. Let's keep it going.
Let's
Right.
do it. I am extremely excited for Speedy. How are you feeling about this matchup?
It's going to be amazing. The double best of three is just an incredible thing to watch. It's very rare that we get that far, but I've been loving these battles, and I won't be surprised if we do. We see Hippowdon and the Escavalier continuing to gather dust on the side, though I don't know how much play either of them have here either.
Man, I really do hope we see some Escavalier play still today, but it's just not looking like it's gonna happen. We do see the first battle starting off with a Milotic versus Gengar lead.
All right, Milotic, very neutral play here. The question is, when you see the Gengar, is this the best place for that Milotic to be, or do you need to make a switch out?
Oh, I think I'd rather have the Milotic somewhere else, but this is really not too bad. You keep the tree away from the Gengar and the Gallade as well. In comes Conkeldurr now, and this is why you love to see your Gallade.
Exactly. Gallade and Trevenant making another appearance. Goes for a Stone Edge. We know both of these moves are resisted. And Gallade says, bring it on.
Takes it like a champ. Actually, I was expecting it to do more and is now able to Confusion. All the way down, but doesn't opt to go for it. Is afraid of another Dynamic Punch being hit. Goes for the Leaf Blade. Takes out the Conkeldurr. Just playing it a little safe here.
I think recognizing the Gengar is going to come in here and try to farm, you want it to get as low as possible. And if you invest a shield, you can't even hit the Gengar very hard with Close Combat or Leaf Blade.
You are right. This Leaf Blade can probably go unshielded here, and the Gengar will still survive. Will be very low though, so he might opt to shield, but he doesn't. Takes a Leaf Blade, does survive, but only at 1 HP. Wait, they simultaneous KO there? I don't know how that happened, but it did. It did. It did. And here comes the Mamo.
We just see the Mamo is on the field, going to try to bulldoze and avalanche its way through the Milotic, but this is really tough though. We talked about bad matchups for Mamoswine, and this was one of them.
It is. It is. The Trevenant in the back, though, might still have trouble with the Mamoswine if Milotic cannot take it out here, because an Avalanche will definitely one-shot the Trevenant, but I think Mamoswine from this range should definitely still be able to take out or take a Seed Bomb.
This is a Tho-inspired Mamo rocking the Stone Edge, but he's going to throw an Avalanche. This is resisted damage, though. I don't think this KOs.
There's not even a shield in play here. He's just gonna opt to sack the Milotic, but luckily didn't have to. Avalanche didn't KO, goes for a Surf, and I think this will knock out the Mamo.
Mamo hangs on. Does it get a move? No. Milotic, too strong. And that's all she wrote for game one.
Yeah, like we said, that Milotic, double, grass, pseudo grass, core, just way too strong for Stefan to handle. I wonder how he's gonna try to play around that lineup. What do you think he has to bring in order to beat that?
I gotta say, there's instances where people start the race at the same moment, and there's instances where you start behind. And I feel like Stefan, in terms of team comp, is far behind Crispy Chris here. Because what do you do if you lead the Magnezone? You risk leading into the Gallade, into the Trevenant, maybe even into the Hippowdon. You put yourself in a tough spot, but you want to trap that Milotic at all costs.
Oh man, we have a Hippowdon here. I do think Crispy Chris was expecting the Magnezone lead here. I think it looked pretty good for Stefan against the previous team. Gets line up first a Conkeldurr, though this is not where you want to see the Conkeldurr. Stays in though, even though it's two better answers in the back. Are we gonna see a catch here?
We do!
Oh my god, we do see the catch. Man, that's a huge play from Chris here.
Chat, if you're not getting hyped, I don't know what's going on. That was a huge catch, dynamic punch. In comes the Gengar. You try to neutralize this Gallade. Does he get the
much damage?
I think
Gets a punch here.
You can't
go.
You can't capture it into confusion, so it makes sense to me, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Just gonna hope you can farm down. Probably with the Trevenant here. I don't think the Hippo can farm down. You just go Hippo and throw the move. Either one works, but opts to farm down with a Trevenant here. Is this Gengar gonna get to the Shadow Punch though? It will, which is not ideal for the Trevenant. Can spend a shield here and end up with a lot of energy at the end of this matchup.
This is huge pressure, and I like that Stefan finally able to get shield advantage in this matchup. That could be big for him moving down the stretch. We see the Conkeldurr and the Magnezone. No solid answer to the tree.
No, Magnezone might be able to mirror shot its way through this Trevenant though, but it is definitely not ideal.
2 shields in play. Does he call the Shadow Ball? Yes. That's a really good call, and he keeps Magnezone in this battle.
Remember, the Hippowdon does have an Earth Power stored up. So if the Trevenant's able to burn both shields here, Chris can come in and snipe the Magnezone with an Earth Power from that Hippowdon.
Shielding a Mirror Shot does not get the attack drop. Here comes another Mirror Shot, though. Even with this drop, though, I think Shadow Ball will be enough to KO the Magnezone.
Oh, 100%. Shadow Magnezone is incredibly squishy. So I think we're going to have to see a shield here, but we don't. I think he's expecting to farm this down with a Conkeldurr at this point.
We're going to get a counter down of a Ghost. No, we switch right into the Hippowdon, saving that Trevenant. Going to throw the Rock Weather Ball. This is resisted, correct?
It is. But once the shield's here, once we get it in as much chip as possible, now it's going to threaten to get to the Earth Power, so the Conkeldurr has to throw their Dynamic Punch really early. And it's all going to come down to if the tree is going to be able to get to a charge move before it gets farmed down.
Hippowdon gets knocked out. Trevenant is empty. The counters are resisted, but look at the damage adding up. Does he get there?
He does, but does this knock out? It's just a Seed Bomb against the Conkeldurr, which is pretty tanky, so this is going to be really close.
And Conkeldurr!
Oh my goodness, survives.
Conkeldurr survives the Seed Bomb, gets a last second Dynamic Punch in the 11th hour, takes down the Trevenant.
Wow. That was a really, really good match. Really well played by Stefan right there. Lineup disadvantage, but able to pull off the win with 1 HP remaining.
I have to point out though, this is again, Crispy Chris needs to win 2 best-of-3s. Stefan made some real magic in that game 2. If he makes some more magic here in game 3, he can breathe a sigh of relief and be done with it. But if not, we start back at the beginning.
Exactly. Well, I don't want to pick any favorites here, to be honest, but I wouldn't mind another best-of-3, to be honest, because, well, we are having a real treat here with these amazing games.
I see chat saying 1 bubble was missed on the charge move. That is the margin of error in battles like this. You have to hit those excellence. You have to maximize your energy, and just small mistakes make a world of difference in a championship match like this.
Exactly. Every small thing matters. All right, here we go. 3rd match. We're gonna see the Hippo again.
All right. Milotic, Salamence. It looks like our left screen is slightly ahead.
Wait a second. Escavalier brings it. Ooh, man, let me see the Mamoswine in the back as well. Oh, if you can get that Escavalier to that Mamoswine, that's pretty nice.
Exactly. We do see the shield come up here from the Outrage. We know that Salamence's energy schedule is so slow. Milotic with a relatively nice matchup. Here comes a Gengar swap in. You knew it was coming. You just didn't know when.
Throws the serve into the Gengar. We're actually going to see a no shield here, which I think opens up the door for this Gallade to farm down maybe before the Shadow Punch. But no, unfortunately, Gengar is able to get it. Just a Shadow Punch though. Pretty sure that Gallade should be able to survive this, so we see no shield come out here.
Gallade, 1 confusion from a Leaf Blade. Really wants to hit back against whatever comes in. Oh, as we peek at these back lines, these battlers have no idea, but it's going to be tough for Crispy to pull this one off. Here comes the Mamoswine.
Yeah, the Mamoswine coming in does get to the Leaf Blade. Here, we'll get shielded up by the Memo. Of course, that would do a lot of damage. Now, is this Gallade going to be able to get to another Leaf Blade? It's going to be quite close.
Gallade is switch locked Mamo, building lots of energy. Can it outpace? No, another move comes through, but it's the Avalanche.
Very, very good timing from Stefan here. throwing right before the Leaf Blade comes out. Now he's really not gonna like what's in the back though. Askov, probably one of the hardest counters to this Memo Swine. Brings it in comes the Salamence though. And this is pretty good for the Milotic right now.
Throwing a Surf right before the Outrage again. This counting is so critical to maintaining these last shields. Surf is going to be enough to KO.
It is. Memo Swine's still kind of healthy though, and if it can get a lot of energy here, I imagine a Stone Edge almost knocks out that Askov.
Wow, we do see the shield coming up here, protecting this Mammoth Swine on Stefan's side. He's on his last leg here. Can he get a Powder Snow down? He's
I think
going
that's what
for
he's
it.
hoping for. It's his only win con.
No!
Oh, gets to the Surf. And this has to be enough to KO. We're gonna see a second best of 3, Speedy.
Woo. I'm telling you, Stefan made some real magic happen in game 2 and just not enough there in game 3. King, are you yelling at your monitor?
Wow, that second game, that was insane. This one, the Powder Snow down was the only win con there, and it was a crazy commitment and really good counting on both sides, both throwing very timely moves to prevent the opponent from getting off a move. That was phenomenal. I'm glad we're going to see a second best of 3. What do you think Stefan's going to do to make some adjustments, if any?
Oh man,
it is so rough. He has to repeat what he did in that second game somehow. Maybe leverage that Conkeldurr again. That seemed to work out really well for him in that game.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's cut to a quick commercial here while the battlers take a little bit of a breather, analyze, and get back to it. So we're gonna also set predictions. So take a look at that as well. All right. I think the battlers have taken their sufficient break, and we're going to see if Stefan has pulled some magic to try to fry Crispy Chris, right? Make him a little bit too crispy and try to finish him off. But this is going to be tough. But if Stefan can repeat some of that game 2 magic into 2 games in this next set, then can pull off and be the winner. Or Chris can just keep steamrolling with this amazing trio of Pokemon ES.
Wow. I don't know. What do you think, though? Do you think you go with like an ABA strategy, try to take shield advantage and then just muscle through? Or do you go with an ABB? Or do you hard call the line? Because you've played this trainer several times now. You probably have an idea of what they'll bring.
Yeah, I think Crispy Chris is really relying on that Milotic and Gallade. So I feel like Stefan might want to bring that Magnezone. Does pretty okay in both those matchup, especially if shields are up and you can shoot up a close combat before we move on with the Steaminator. So we gotta take a look at this bracket real quick because we do have a reset at this point.
Yeah, obviously the reset is going to show Stefan versus Chrissy Chris. They both have lost 1 round at this point in time, so this is winner take all for this tournament. If you're interested in participating in the tournament, you can go !tournament, and they have a public self tournament that you can all take apart. Or if you're interested in some drafts, and that's also a really great way to join that Discord. I think it's like Hanky Please. I'm sure there's Hanky Please followed by many things that you could say. But if we're ready to go to the battles, let's get to the battle screen and hype up this grand finals rematch.
Oh, I am so ready. But moving on with the analysis, I think that Magnezone in the lead, maybe Salamence in the back. I think that would be a good comp for Stefan to go with.
Yeah, absolutely. We did see him dust off that Escavalier as well earlier on in the series, and it almost paid great dividends for him in that particular matchup. Chat, we need to see some emotes as well. I mean, we got a lot of folks here watching a reset of a championship match. Let's encourage our competitors here as they try to crown a champion.
Yeah, let's get some hype in chat. Who are you rooting for, guys? This is the finals. This is gonna be an amazing match, that's for sure. And we start off with a Kangar into this Trevenant. This is actually a really good lead for the Kangar here. Gets to these Shadow Punches quicker than Trevenant can get to the Shadow Balls.
Exactly right. Pacing is a big factor here, but maybe trying to catch that Magnezone that you mentioned, though, but gets the Ghost type instead. Here comes the first charge move, an early shield, because we know that these Ghosts do not appreciate Ghost type damage.
I am very surprised to see how much damage these Shadow Claws are doing to each other, by the way. Seeing as the Trevenant's almost like 400 CP lower and still doing pretty even damage.
What a catch going into that Milotic, trying to absorb some damage and save the Trevenant for later. Let's see if a switch in response. And we get the zone, but he's up a shield here, though.
Yeah, we do get the zone. Well, they're even shields here, so not too bad for either player. This serve will really hurt the Magnezone, though.
Magnezone going to resist the Dragon Tails, takes neutral from the surf. Oh, my mistake. Yeah, our shields are still in play. Up to the double. It's about that time.
Perfect timing from Stefan right there, right before the surf. Milotic honestly has no option besides letting this go, because there's already another Wild Charge Lotus, which, by the way, will do massive damage versus whatever comes in.
I love the control going for the mirror shot here. This, I think, will be enough. Trevenant does not appreciate it, and it does go down.
It does. It is enough. Here comes the Gallade. Is he able to get to another Wild Charge?
No.
Goes down with it.
This doesn't look too bad, though. Here comes Salamence.
Man, these Dragon Tails are really, really gonna add up. This guy is building up a bunch of energy. I think if we can get like a Leaf Blade and a close combat, might be okay. But at this point, the Dragon Tail went through. He's just gonna shoot this up. And Stefan, against all odds, actually takes a win here.
Incredible play here. Just calling that line, though. Fool me once, but you can't fool me twice. Look at that.
Exactly.
Incredible alignment. Go ahead.
Very, very impressive.
Yeah, kind of tossing Crispy Chris into the deep fryer there. He said, I am here in the finals for a reason, and he's only one game away from clinching the series.
Slowly turning Crispy Chris into Crispy Chicken at this point.
He's going to do his best, but I think Crispy Chris has recognized that Stefan has picked up on this Gallade and Trevenant core with the Milotic swap. Maybe he makes a change here.
Yeah, I think Crispy is anticipating the Magnezone again at this point, so might bring a couple extra answers this time. Maybe we should Escavalier again, maybe the Hippo. We're gonna start off with a Gallade versus Heracross lead though.
Oh, so tough for the Bug Fighter. Makes that switch out.
Oh no!
Uh-oh, you're getting hard-walled here. But he's going to throw the mirror shots and try to make this as competitive as possible. If you get that early attack drop, though, and call in Earth Power, I think this could last a while.
Yeah, this is actually not too bad of a matchup for the Magnezone, especially if you can get like a debuff, or you can just call Weather Ball Bait or shield up the Earth Power. This Magnezone actually has a lot of play here.
High level awareness by Stefan. Throwing the mirror shot the second time is the key. He gets the debuff there, straight for the Earth Power.
Are we gonna see a shield? We are not. That was the quickest snow shield I've ever seen. It's gonna go through, and we say goodbye to the magnet.
Here comes Heracross. We know it's deadly with energy, but still not very good at hitting back against the Gallade. We see the Rock Weather Ball come through. No shield here.
Yeah, the buffed attack, so this won't do anything. This Heracross is gonna be able to farm this Hippo all the way down, but man, this energy is all gonna go into this Gallade most likely. Even though it's resisted, it's still gonna do a lot of damage.
Absolutely, you have to take what you can. Gallade comes in here as we suspected, throws the combat right away. I love this play though, because now you can switch and transfer the confusion. But is that the play?
Well, I think luckily for Heracross, no confusion went through, so no damage taken. And again, he denies another confusion. That is actually massive. Takes it on the Gallade though, and it's gonna switch to the Milotic here. It is now Milotic versus the world. Can this Milotic take out this Kangar and Heracross?
Absolutely. Great question. It's a question of pacing, excuse me, as we see the bait come through here. No shield! Woo! Early call.
That is a really, really ballsy call right there, but gets it right. And it's gonna pay off big in the end here, I feel like.
All right, as we see the Dragon Tail start to come through after the surf, Gengar dipping into the yellow as well. Maybe double bait here. He's going for another bait though.
Yeah, I think at this point he's really hoping to just get to 3 Shadow Punches, because that might be able to take out the Milotic. But these Dragon Tails are really adding up. It's gonna be very tight.
Exactly. Gets to that third move, just like you pointed out, but we see that second shield come up. I think we see a Dragon Tail down and try to carry that energy over.
We are.
Let's
Oh,
see
man.
Heracross. Oh, throws the Surf. Heracross, not even a chance to get a counter through, and I think it's empty after the double close combat.
It is. And if this Milotic can't get to the... Oh, man, actually goes into the Gallade, though.
No!
No way.
No! This is not what we
no.
want to do. We just fed the Heracross. Does it get a move?
Oh, it does get a
does!
move. And I think that's the end. Oh, my. That is a turn of events. I think if you were just staying with a Milotic, you would have been able to surf, but I guess he thought he had way more energy there. Man, Stefan takes it. Wow.
What just happened there?
I don't know.
I thought I was like, okay, I'm mentally ready for game 3. Just throw the double serve. The Heracross will probably just barely survive it. Then you switch the Heracross. The Heracross will probably get to the Rock Blast. You probably have to let it go and then just Dragon Tail down. That's how I was predicting the end of the game. Then the immediate swap. I was maybe he thought the Gallade had a move or something. I'm not entirely sure. Like it was definitely going to survive to get there. So that was
yeah, maybe he thought the Gallade had more energy, or maybe he thought the Heracross had more energy, so he was trying to catch a move on the Gallade. I don't know, but unfortunately, it didn't end up working out. So we don't get to see a game 3, but congrats to Stefan there for taking that win.
Yeah, especially after losing the lead, getting hardwalled on the safe switch, and then going for the huge farm down, double close combat, putting the Gallade into the red, and then then getting the bait call too. Like that every like
100%.
Oh my gosh, that was absolutely incredible set there, and Stefan coming back. I think we can get Stefan to come on stream, hopefully, and get him to share his thoughts, talk about the tournament. You want to participate in the public tournament again? ! Tournament. But gentlemen, what are your thoughts on this meta, this tournament, everything that's happened?
Wow, I mean, there are some things that we expected to see, like you mentioned, King, the Milotic being very powerful in this format. Some things that are